Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Ravager Report. I am Dorian, and with me, as always, is my co-host Hebrew. How you doing tonight, Hebrew?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing wonderful, thanks. So we are here live again. Sorry for missing last week. We had some scheduling conflicts, but we are back live. Um, So, wanted to first of all give our patron announcements. We did get a new patron this week. So, we were joined by Justin Beard. Thank you, Justin, for your patronage. And obviously, we are very thankful to everybody who is a patron for the show. It's thanks to you guys that we're able to really kind of stay on the air. And we've actually, Hebrew, I think it's safe to announce, are locked in for a year now.
That's right.
So we bought the like the Podbean 1 year subscription thanks to you guys. It's paid in full, so you get another 53 weeks of us, whether you like it or not. However, if you would like to continue supporting the show, or you would like to start supporting the show, you can go to patreon.com/Ravager Report, and we have subscriptions starting from $2 going all the way up to $20. Now we are the tiers are a little bit in flux right now as Hebrew and I try to coordinate what each tier is going to offer. But we really plan on getting that kind of nailed down within the next week. So currently it does start at 2. It does go to 20. The $2 right now will get you access to our Discord channel for a private patron where you get special access to the hosts and the other patrons, as well as, you get like some pre-show where we come in, we jump in for 15, 20 minutes before the show to talk. Then going up from there, $5, you get like early show notes, going all the way up to 20, where you get access to things such as Patron of the Week, special roster reviews, things of that nature. So, like I said, if you'd like to help support us, then please feel free to go to patreon.com/Ravager Report. All right, so before we get into the news this week, Hebrew, what have you been up to?
So this week I've been up to a good bit. Most of it, I mean, besides my general stuff, which is always just school, basically. The cooler stuff would be Chewy and I just finished up an episode of our new show, Porn and Politics with Casino. It was a lot of fun. And that's going to be released probably in the next week, I think. We just finished up all the logo design for it and everything. And now we're also working on a D&D podcast, which should be pretty cool. So we're going to be doing a Halloween episode to kick things off. So you guys will have to tune in for that. And yeah, so we're doing all that kind of stuff. We have more stuff down the pipeline. So yeah, Chewy and I have been really busy with that. Other than that, it's a pretty bland week, I would say. Just trying to get everything done in the game. So in-game stuff. Let's go ahead and go right to that. I haven't done too much besides just farm Cree like crazy. So that's basically all of my time. And then now I'm trying to do Blitz, this stupid Blitz. You know how much I hate Blitz. And I'm forced to do it for Storm because I want to get Magneto and I need to get her up to 5 stars. So yeah, I'm kind of upset that I have to do that, but that is a lot of time that I'm investing right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
She should be farmable soon, right? Like the next few weeks.
I mean, I don't think they've made any official statement about it, but I would hope that she becomes, they put her on some node or something, because
they're going to have to for people to be able to get her.
Otherwise, I mean, they might not. I don't know. It depends on if they're willing to make this relatively easy to get on the first go around or not. I could see them keeping Storm. I'm more worried about Mystique than anything else right now.
Yeah, I can.
One node,
yeah, one hard node.
I don't know if a Blitz is on the horizon or not for her yet, so I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm needless to say, I'm worried. I'm trying to panic farm Kree, Shield. I'm trying to get Iron Fist up to 6 stars as well. He's currently halfway to 6, so I'm just so spread out right now, and I'm probably have to throw down some money on some cores pretty soon too. So yeah, they're doing exactly what they want to do, which is make me spend money. Congratulations, Fox Next, you did it.
Yep, they suckered you in, man. Mm-hmm. They suckered you in.
They're good at that.
Yep.
What about you?
Well, it's been kind of a busy week for me. So I was lead developer on our deployment process for work this week, which was why we didn't get to record last Friday because it's a 2-week process. It's actually turned into a 3-week now because we had some servers crash, which is not good.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I've done a lot. I've been having to do a lot of work, getting the servers set up, getting applications deployed, fixing code, redeploying. I mean, it's been a nightmare. I want to say Wednesday night, I worked until 8 or 9 o'clock again. Um, Thursday was another kind of a roughish day. So it's just been a lot of work. I know it's not what I've done the past week, but I'm hoping that tomorrow, if the weather's clear, my wife and I are going to go out. She wants to take some photos. So we're going to go do some nature walking and take some photos. Hopefully my foot holds up. In game, I want to give a huge shout out to my guild. We just completed Thanos 100% for the very first time. So
Oh wow.
that was huge. I was a little sad because I ran out of energy at Thanos, and I was at like 6 energy, or I was at 8 energy. I was at 8 energy. I was completely out of tickets. I only have 47 crystals. He was down to like 600, or the node was down to like 600k health, and I was like, man, I can jump in and finish this. Somebody got to it before me. I was like 20 minutes out from like being able to get the 10 energy I needed. So I wound up only coming in 8th on that one. So I was a little disappointed. But I want to give a huge shout out to my entire guild because you guys just absolutely rock. It's been kind of a trek to get here, but the Shattered Order has finally done the 100% Thanos. Now we got another 5 days or so of raids, 4 days. I want to say it's 4 days, 9 hours or something like that.
Mhm.
That hopefully we can continue to 160 each one because Papa wants him a 7-star Thanos. But it's not going to happen. I'm sitting at 188 of 300. Now, I did hit
Yeah.
25 today, but that was only because I hit a 20 and a 5. So still better than 2 8s.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Do that.
So we'll talk about this a little bit in the show, but the block party's back, and I was able to get up through tier 5. And because of like the extra mats and stuff that you get for first completion, I was able to completely upgrade all my defenders' abilities. So everybody is completely upgraded now on their abilities, up to the tier 4 orange mats. So
Oh yeah.
that's huge for me. It's really been a defenders week in game. All my defenders except for Jessica are now tier 10. She's only 1, maybe 2 away from being tier 10 herself. Then I'll start pushing everybody to 11. I got Punisher to 5 stars this week, and I got Jessica to 6, so she can now contribute in the Dark Dimension, which I completed the very first node of Dark Dimension and have moved on to the second node. So that's kind of where I've been at this week.
Well, that's actually pretty good, and congratulations on the 100% Thanos. That is no small task.
No, these guys. I mean, I'm so proud of this guild, man. They put in the work and they did such a great job.
Yeah, for us even, we've, I think it was the last go around, we were 100%ing it or had the ability to, but it was just, it ended up being like every once in a while whenever we actually did it, not because we couldn't, but because there'd always be 1 or 2 people that just didn't finish their lanes. So that was the most frustrating thing about it. Right now we're actually experiencing the same thing. So it's just that a lot of us have been around for such a really long time, but there's some people that have been around for that amount of time that are now starting to slack. So we're kind of getting to that point where it's like, all right, sorry, you're a great friend, but you're holding us back at this point. So
yeah, and that's actually something I want to talk about when we get into the meat of the show. Because I also read about something like that on Reddit this week as well. So a little spoiler: if you fast forward, you'll hear us talking probably more about raids. We'll see if we get a chance to get there because we've got a lot to talk about tonight. So I think we should go ahead and get started. And so let's talk about the Datamine first. There hasn't really been a whole lot in the Datamines. I think the one big thing we wanted to call out was the gold orbs, which I think they sent an email about today as well. The gold orbs offer. And basically, there's going to be 3 tiers of gold orbs. Tier 1 was going to be 40% and it was required to unlock Tier 2. Tier 2 is 50% off and is going to be required to unlock Tier 3. And then Tier 3 is going to be 70% off. So get out your wallets, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to buy some gold. Yeah, Hebrew, you got anything you want to add to that?
So we have the offers here from Evan B in chat. So the second offer is apparently 300,000 gold and 12K gold orbs for $20 for US $20. And then the third offer is 2.5 million gold and 32,000 gold orbs for US $50. That's reported on Reddit from what he says. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that third offer is looking pretty good to me right now.
2.5 million gold for $50?
32K.
Well, 32K gold orbs.
That's
32K gold orb fragments. So you're only going to get 16 gold orbs.
Yeah, that's.
You're still not going to hit a million, man. You're still not going to hit a million. Why waste your time?
Are you talking about me specifically, or are you
specifically? You specifically.
Yeah. I won't hit.
Yeah, you specifically.
I mean, so here's the thing. All offers, like, these are terrible offers as far as value for $1, like, in general. But whenever it comes to offers relative to what they've offered before, they're pretty good. So it depends on if you want to throw. It depends on if you want to throw down. I mean, I think that tier 3 offer is the best value offer that we've seen so far for gold. At least in recent memory.
I would say it's the highest. It's the highest amount of gold they've sold us at one time.
I think it's the best. I would argue that it's the best valued one that we've gotten so far. But that being said, it comes with a high price tag. So
yeah, I mean, you've got to spend 25 to get there. So look, for $75, you're going to get a total of. So you get 100,000 gold and 1 gold orb for $5. So you're going to get just shy of 3 million gold and 16, 22, 23 total gold orbs for $75.
Yeah.
So for $75, you'll get what is 23 times 100,000. A minimum of another, so you're going to at a minimum, you'll get 5 million for $75.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
I think overall, like I said, I still think that's the best gold value that we've had so far. But like I said, it comes down to, do you want to spend that much money? Because that's the real thing. If you look at this objectively, right, I don't think that amount of money is worth that much gold. Or that's worth an offer like that. I don't think that anyone should be spending that much money on this game at once. I don't know. I guess I'm not one to talk.
I mean, look, you could go out and buy Red Dead Redemption 2 for that price.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, I can't really. I have moments where I throw down money, but I've never thrown down that much at once, I guess. So for me, it's hard to do that. But that being said, I might end up doing it for this one. But
but it's also how fast that gold goes, because that gold's going to go so fast. And you're gonna look at it and then go, what did I just do? Because I've been slowly. So I just hit level 67. Right, that was another thing I did this week. Sorry, I hit level 67. I was not able to take all my team. And I'm only leveling up my defenders at this point. Right. I was not able to take them all to 67 because it's like 87,000 gold per. So if you figure you're going to get, let's say you only get 5 million, right? So for every 4, we'll just round down to 250, and then we'll add in for every fourth one, we'll add in another 100,000. So for every 4, you're going to spend 1 million. For every 5, you're going to spend 1.35 million. So you're going to get a minimum of, and I'm just doing the math quickly in my head. I'm probably wrong. I apologize. 10, 12, 15, 20 people up to max level. That's if they're already at level 66 before you take them to 67. That's not counting all the other stuff on top of that. So I don't know. It's just, hey, look, it's your money. Do with what you want. I don't know if buying that gold's worth it or not.
See but that's exactly my point. So for someone like you who doesn't really throw money in this game, you've done it once so far, right? So I mean, for you, I don't think it makes that much sense, because if it isn't something that you like to do, which is invest in mobile games, then I would say that this value isn't going to work for you, because it's $75 is the threshold that you're going to spend. But for someone who throws down on some packages, it might be worth it, just because obviously they're okay with it. They've done it before. They don't mind investing in offers whenever they come around. And that's the best. I'm not 100% sure of this, just because I don't remember all the other ones, but I'm fairly positive this is the best gold orb offer value that we've had so far. It has a high price tag to get to it, unfortunately, but I think that is the case. So it just kind of comes up to, are you willing to spend that money? And if you are, then you're going to get a pretty good value relative to what you've seen before for gold. And if you don't want to spend $75, that is totally understandable as well, because that's a high price tag.
Yep.
But I think
again, it's all personal valuation, right? All personal
exactly.
valuation.
Exactly. So I think the bigger thing here is that this shouldn't be what these what was it, the gold, what did they call it again?
What, Goldgate?
No, it was before this was the Blitz.
Gold Rush.
Yeah, the Gold Rush. Thank you.
Right. Yeah, this is not the Blitz.
Yeah, exactly. Before it was a Blitz, and they kind of like bait and switched me. I feel like now we're like billing it in with an offer instead of the Blitz. So I was pretty annoyed with that.
I agree with you, and I think the title of this episode is the bait and switch, because as we get into DevBlog 7, as we get into the new DevBlog, we are going to be talking, I believe, quite a bit about the bait and switch. However, before we do, I just want to say thank you to the person that just pledged to our Patron. I do not have your in-game user or your Discord username. I apologize. Otherwise, I would call you out directly. If you want to DM me, I'll be more than happy to give you credit live on the show so that it can be immortalized forever.
Yes, thank you very much.
So let's move into the news now, and let's talk about the fact that, hey, it's Friday. We got a dev blog. We need. So, okay, I've decided we need a soundboard. And we need QT little music or something so that we can transition totally segments.
Yeah.
But I got to find the time to record an intro, or you got to record an intro or something. We got to script the intro.
You record it, but we already know that for sound bites, I'm getting a Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yes, you are going to get I'm Mary Poppins.
That's
y'all.
all I want.
I promise you will get I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah.
All right. So it's Friday. We got a new dev blog, and we got dev blog 7. Now I'm not going to read the dev blog, but we're going to go kind of point by point here. And so the developer update number 7 does start out, the Brotherhood of Mutants has arrived, and then it goes in to talk about the different characters that are going to be part of the Brotherhood. So we've got Mystique, Pyro, Juggernaut, and Sabretooth, all leading up to Magneto himself. And Magneto will be here in late November. That's right. Late November.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Mystique just dropped on a single hard node, and you're expecting people to be able to get her to 5 stars in less than a month?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. So what they have said in the blog is that, obviously Mystique is currently available from her node. Juggernaut will be coming through a campaign event, and he will be the first one to have the campaign event, and he will lead us into November. Sabretooth, who currently is in premium orbs. I've got 8 of those I need to open up, by the way. And then after the Juggernaut event, Sabretooth will be coming in an event. And then after that, we're going to have Pyro in an event. And then we will have the big man himself, Magneto. Hebrew, I'm gonna let you open this up. What are your thoughts on how they're releasing these 4 characters, the cadence, and the build up to Magneto?
So for me, I don't have. Well, okay. So the fact that Magneto's coming so soon, I mean, on a personal level, I like it just because I want him out because I'm impatient. But realistically, the logistics of how we're going to get these characters up to 5 stars makes no sense. And granted, we don't know 100% what's going to be necessary as far as star requirements are concerned, but we're all assuming that it's probably going to revolve around having all these characters up to 5 stars in order to get him to be unlocked at 5 stars. That's kind of what everyone is guessing. I don't think we have any hard language on that yet. But yeah, so I don't know how they're going to fit all these characters, even with, unless you really wail out on their character events, we're not going to have enough time to fit all these blitzes in for these characters unless they do them right afterwards or something. And even then, you're probably not going to get them up to 5 stars unless you still throw down a decent amount of money. So it really worries me about that, first of all. Second of all, Mystique, I don't know how we're going to do that, even with, you know, a good couple of blitzes, which we won't get. We might get one, I think, but you know, that's by the way, that's I don't know that at all. That's me just speculating. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how we're going to make that happen. So that's really worrying me. So yeah, I think that it's honestly, overall, I think it's silly that he's coming that early. It's going to be a problem for a lot of people, and we're going to kind of get into another situation like Nick Fury, where maybe even more so, because we have less time to try to make that happen. With Creed, people were farmable at least, and we had a decent amount of time before that happened. It was just people didn't want to invest in shitty characters. Right. But in this case, logistically, I just don't think it's going to be possible unless you whale out. So it'll probably be an even bigger whale barrier for getting this team, I think. So, and from the sounds of it, it's going to be more of a PvP dominant team, but on the level of Nick Fury. And in fact, will from everything I've heard from private contacts and other content creators, he's going to destroy Nick Fury and Shield in a one-on-one PvP battle. So they won't be able to sustain as long as Nick Fury and Shield, but in a PvP match, they're going to destroy them. So yeah, I think it's just it spells out trouble, honestly. What about you?
Yeah, so I'm going to kind of save my overarching view until we have a chance to kind of talk about everything. But I'm going to tell you straight out, I'm not happy and I'm not comfortable with a lot of the things I'm seeing.
With just regards to the
the Brotherhood is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we look at a lot of these different things that are coming down the pipe together,
mm-hmm.
I'm very uncomfortable.
With the trajectory of the game.
Yeah, and well, okay, so I just unfortunately need to kind of talk about it up front.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not comfortable. I feel like we're getting back to the suits are making the game decisions.
Yeah,
because we are starting to see a lot of things for money and not a lot of things that are farmable or available, right? I tried to do a quick search while you were talking through the dev blogs to find where they first mentioned when Magneto was going to be out, because I thought they had said before the end of the year. So I had assumed that, he was going to be out, mid to late December at the earliest. Because that would give you a realistic time to farm. I mean, you could farm Mystique to 5-star by December if you did her nodes 3 times a day every day, right? That would give you a viable chance.
3 times a day every day? Yeah, I think you could do that potentially.
Right? I mean, look, I've had to farm in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for a long time. I missed Rev, and I'm so sad. But I can tell you from experience that they're doable in typically 2 to 3 months. You can go from, a 3-star to a 5-star in that time frame. But I'm really, really, really getting uncomfortable with the current projected direction that I'm seeing, right? The current trajectory of the game, and it's starting to become more financial driven again that we saw in the past.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make me happy. Now, I understand. Look, it's a business. You got to make money on the game, but you got to make smart money. You can't just say, hey, here's this. We're going to release this guy who's we're telling you right now he's going to be the best guy in arena. Oh, guess what? You've got less than a month to get 5 characters to 5 stars to get him.
Yeah.
And that's not doable unless you're willing to drop a big amount of money. When so here's just to pull in some experience from Galaxy of Heroes. People were dropping $300-400 to get Revan. Now that was after the fact of already having some of the characters at higher stars, and they had already been farmable for 2 months or more before it happened. So I just, yeah, I'm not happy with these releases. I wasn't happy seeing that Magneto is coming in the end of November.
Yeah. I would actually argue that right now, well, all right, I'll save this for after we finish talking about the rest of the dev blog. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I fully agree that we are going down a dangerous path that I feel like we've been down before.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. So a lot of the developer update goes into talking about Magneto and the Brotherhood and how they'll work against Fury. Some of the different things about what they'll be able to do. I really felt this was less a dev blog and more of an advertisement for new characters coming, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
So when I see a dev blog, I kind of want to know what's going on, right? I don't want to see an advertisement on why we should buy Magneto.
Yeah, are you talking about you want to see like reasons behind particular decisions? Is that what you're talking about?
Reasons behind particular decisions. What's coming in future updates. I know they did, and we'll get there. I like knowing when characters are coming. That's great. I don't know. When I read this, and maybe it's just me being jaded, and I'll own that. Knowing that once I saw that Magneto was coming at the end of November, I just immediately went, ugh.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind this as a dev blog. I think that this is kind of on point with what I want to see, at least me personally want to see on a dev blog. But yeah, the contents of it did not make me happy. That's for sure.
Yeah. So beyond them going into what each different character is kind of going to be able to do, they kind of dropped a bug that I guess maybe we weren't aware was a bug.
Yeah, I didn't know about it.
So apparently Stark Tech has not been properly boosting our character power numbers. The benefits to character statistics have always been applied correctly, but the power number shown on the roster was only accounting for 5% of the Stark Tech applied to the character. So they're saying that if you bought, like our guild is right around 20-ish. Sorry, Evan, I don't have the exact number. Give me 1 second and I'll have that. We're at level 21 currently. And like I have my tech at bonused at 6%. Well, that 6% bonus is being applied correctly. However, the power level was only accounting for 5% of the Stark Tech applied. So they are in the next release, the Stark Tech advancements will calculate the power numbers correctly. It won't change anything to what's going on. It will just make the displays more appropriate. So those 160k teams you're fighting now, they're about to jump to 170.
Yeah.
So was there anything that you wanted to mention on that one?
No, just a bug fix. I mean, I'm glad that they found it, but sometimes I wonder it's a pretty big thing that they feel like they missed, and sometimes I wonder why they miss these things that should be obvious to them who have access on the back end. So I don't know. Maybe that's me being ignorant as far as the intricacies of programming, but I feel like they should be more aware of stuff like that.
Have you ever watched Office Space?
The movie?
Yes.
Yeah, like a long time ago.
Oh, you need to watch it again. You need to own that movie. Somebody just moved a decimal point in the wrong place, and they wound up with $1 million versus 100,000.
Oh,
Instead of taking fractions of pennies, they were taking dollars.
Oh
So,
yeah,
anyway.
okay, I remember. I kind of remember that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. The thing though on this that's a little odd is it says this will fix a few odd PvP edge cases. If this is a display only issue, what odd PvP edge cases could be happening? I mean, if the characters are working properly, what's going on?
It could be matchings for in Blitz or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of.
Maybe is Blitz considered PvP?
Yeah, I would consider it.
Okay, that's fine. I guess when I think PvP, I'm only thinking arena. I could see the point with Blitz because you are going up against other player teams.
Yeah, it's all automated. I feel like it's not. We're not ever going to be in a situation where one character or one guy is actively controlling another team versus you, who's also actively controlling.
Oh well, yeah. So okay, I can see that maybe for Blitz being the edge case that they're talking about. So
yeah.
The next line was a little cool. It was like, speaking of power, a whole new system is on the way. And then I read it.
Yeah.
And they're introducing the Red Star promotion, a new way to amp up characters. Like, it's not enough that you just star them and gear them. Now we have to take them to what I've seen in other games, for me, is like a bronze, silver, gold, platinum level character.
Right.
And I just no. This is ridiculous. It's an attempt to get whales to spend more on these orbs. I don't know what they're trying to do here or why. Why did they feel this was necessary? I mean, this is like power creep to the extreme.
Yeah, and the problem is I feel like they're just moving the goal line. You know what I mean? Like you think you're at the end, you're like, all right, good. I maxed out this character. I'm finally finished with him. I don't have to worry about him anymore. And then all of a sudden they add another level that you have to get to, another, level of development to your characters that you have to get to. And it's just like, oh my God, like I'm not done again with him now.
Right.
It's very frustrating to deal with. And yeah, I think that this in particular is, well, I'll let you kind of explain it, or did you already explain it? I don't know. I was reading.
No, I didn't really explain how the red stars are going to work. I basically went into mini rant mode. Sorry. So basically, you will be able to collect red stars to promote any stars you have for a character from gold to red. So basically what's going to happen is you've got say a 7-star Venom. You open up this red star orb and you get lucky and it drops a Venom star. You'll be able to take one of those stars for Venom from gold to red. When you do that, they will multiply the power of your character by increasing all the core stats: damage, health, armor, focus, and resistance. They don't only multiply power gain from stars, but also take into account all gear, levels, and start tech bonuses as well. This means that anything you do to improve a character will be amplified by any red stars you have applied to that character. The red stars are gained from the cleverly named Red Star Orb, which drops a random star promotion for a random character. Duplicate drops provide resources for the Elite Red Star Orb, which provides a better drop chance for higher star counts. These orbs will fountain from a variety of sources, and we'll talk more about that in an upcoming vlog. They will fountain.
Yeah, first of all, I'm calling bullshit on that right now. That will not happen.
I expect to see a chocolate fountain of red star orbs shimmering through the game. Yeah. I mean, they will fountain. There is nothing in this game that fountains, except maybe blue or green ability maps.
Yeah, I mean, we're still like waiting for more orange gear to come out, like be more accessible. Like both orange ability mats and orange gear. We're still waiting on that. That was supposed to be fountaining by now as well. I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit on this, and they need to be careful with their language on this kind of stuff. I feel like another what was it, massive reward situation coming on.
Ugh.
So yeah, they have to be more careful with that kind of stuff. But and if I'm wrong and it really is like a geyser of all of these red star orbs, then fine, whatever. I'll eat my words on it. I don't care. But I feel like that will not be the case if history has shown us anything with this game. But
yeah,
I mean, so there's a lot of problems with this red star orb. First of all, you've just upgraded to RNG to the max, which is a huge problem. You can no longer focus on a character with these. It's all luck now on who's going to be good. So all of those characters that you worked so hard for might be garbage compared to characters that you keep getting these stupid red stars for. So it could pretty much invalidate all the effort that you put into a character, and vice versa. Whenever you're competing against some other person, they don't have a character particularly leveled up as high as you did with putting all of your resources into your characters, but you never got lucky with red stars. They did, and then they're going to smash you into the ground, even if you're a counter to them or something like that, just because they got lucky with red stars. So yeah, there's a lot of problems that are presented with this. It's an issue. It's another level of RNG that can invalidate your progress, I feel like, that you've made before, which is incredibly frustrating. Just imagining it is very frustrating to me. So yeah, and the biggest thing here is that we didn't want it. we did not
I don't know anybody
all.
that was asking for this.
Exactly.
Who is saying, you know what we need? We need to upgrade our star levels. Right. Yeah. That's what we need. I mean, I want to meet that person. Please, you're welcome to come on the show. All right. And we'll debate this topic, and you tell me why this another set of RNG power creep is a good thing.
Yeah. And that's the thing, that like we have a hard enough time trying to level up our characters as is, like focusing on one character to the next. We don't need another thing ruining the progress that we've made on the characters that we've already, written off as, all right, finally I finished that. I don't need more progression on characters that I'm already finished with. I don't need it.
Well,
I wrote them off for a reason. I'm done with them. I feel like I'm safe. And now I feel like I can focus on someone else.
It's going to cost gold to upgrade as well, right?
Oh, I
sure.
Mean, yeah.
I mean, it's going to cost gold. So, hey, because I had this fountain of gold that I'm trying to spend. I don't know what to spend it on yet. Sorry, that fountain.
Yeah, the language
gonna play a lot.
Hilarious. Yeah.
But here's my thing on this, right? So the red stars, it sounds like you're going to get just some random star drop. Yeah. So, what happens if I don't have that character? Is that red star orb just going to sit in my inventory until
I'm sure
if and when I level somebody up? So I'm going to get a 5-star, aim monstrosity to red. Really?
Yeah. I think that is exactly what. I think it would be a little different. I still wouldn't like it, but it would be a little different if these stars could be applied to whoever you want. You get to pick. But
right, but no, you're getting a random.
Exactly. That is terrible, especially in a situation right now where we have very particular metas, and the majority of the population is far less effective than the minority. So, yeah,
we're seeing here that our good buddy Mulligan, who I'm going to be talking about, shared some information with us in our general chat that we're going to talk about a little bit later. Made a great comment in chat where he basically said Foxnex loves them some double RNG. Yeah. And here it is again. I mean, here it is. Yep. You get a random character for a random star. Oh, if you don't have, Lloyd, give me the character and I can upgrade their star. Don't say, oh, here's Punisher with his 3rd star. Well, if I don't have star 1 and star 2, does that mean I cannot apply that 3rd star? Or if I apply that 3rd star, will it do all 3? I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to work, but I think you're only going to be able to upgrade a specific star.
No,
so you get the 3rd star.
I don't think it works like that. I mean, granted, this is speculative because I guess they have been slightly ambiguous in this, apparently. But I assumed that it worked as in you get a star for Punisher. Let's say you get a drop of a star for Punisher. you now can get one of the stars turned red. If you
So
get 2 stars, you can upgrade 2. It's not you can get, this is for the 3rd star exclusively, or this is for the 5th star exclusively.
Here's why I say that. Let me
Mhm.
read you a line specifically from the dev blog.
Okay.
Duplicate drops provide resources for the elite red star orb, which provides a better drop chance for higher star counts.
I thought that would apply to, you get 4 stars. Like, so the higher star drop would be, you get,
So wait,
you got 3 or 4 stars in this one.
But under your first method, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I got only 1 star or maybe it's 2 star for Punisher, once I get him to 7, there's no need for me to care if I get the elite red star orb for him to 7 star. What am I going to use that for?
What are you talking about? I'm confused.
Okay. Okay, it's in my brain. Sorry.
You're fine.
Let me see if I can. Words not good with, am I? Sometimes. So if I were to get, let's say, RNG was with me and I rolled 7 straight Punishers, right? Mm-hmm. So now I have 7 1 star. Under your system, you're thinking that I would be able to go all the way to 7 star for Punisher.
Sorry, I'm reading the chat right now, and
yeah. See, I ignore chat now.
So yeah, I probably should too, but I'm listening to what they think, and they're actually agreeing with you. So let me go ahead and turn that off so I can focus on you. Go ahead and say what
I can only because I've had more experience doing this can I go, yeah, I don't look at that chat anymore.
Yeah, I've only done this a couple of times as far as live recording. Yeah. So yeah, this is still new to me. Go ahead, continue though.
So let's say, I'll repeat what I said, right? Let's say I got 7 orbs, and each one drops a Punisher 1 star. You're saying that
each one drops 1 Punisher star.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
So in your system, you're thinking that would be, I would be able to get Punisher immediately to 7 stars.
I think that if you have your Punisher at 7 gold stars already, then yeah, you would be able to upgrade all of those stars to the red version. Yeah.
And then what would a duplicate drop be?
If you get another star for Punisher afterwards, so you get another orb, right? You've already brought him up to 7 red stars. You get another drop that is meant for Punisher, but you already have him at 7 red stars. It gets converted, similarly to what we see with character shards.
Now, that would be ideal, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think I think the red star orbs will be like a max 3 stars, right? And you can get a Punisher 1 star, a Punisher 2 star, or a Punisher 3 star. And I think you can apply each of those. If I get a Punisher 1 star, that only affects the 1st star. If I get a Punisher 3 star, it only affects the Punisher 3rd star. And then any other drops I get for that specific star would convert, and that's how they get the higher star drops.
Yeah. So someone made a great parallel to what you were saying right now, which is think Dragon Ball Z stars for the the ones that you summon the Dragon Balls. Think about each one of those.
I deleted that game.
Okay, well, I mean, this is more of the show, but there's 7 Dragon Balls, and each Dragon Ball is a particular star, and so he's saying that it's more like that situation, which is what you're saying,
right? Correct. And then
if
you get that star, that particular Dragon Ball with that particular star again, that will convert into the elite that can allow you to get the 5, 6, or 7 star for that character.
So I don't see that whenever I read it. Granted, I've only read it once, but even from what you've said so far, I still think that the way I'm thinking of it is correct, just because that falls in line with everything that they've done so far. I feel like.
And so here's kind of where it says which drops a random star promotion for a random character. So. See, that's where I'm coming from there. I mean, look, I would love it if they go, hey, look, here's a Punisher with 3 stars, and you can upgrade three stars on him. Okay, great. However, that duplicate drop is what scares me. Me thinking I can only target a specific star with a specific drop, and if I get that one again, that converts into the elite.
So let me just say, if they do that, that particular wording right there, you're right, makes me think maybe that is the case. I'm hoping that was not what they meant, or we're reading it incorrectly on that one part, because everything else I think agrees more with what I was saying. But I will say, if they do it like that, that's even worse than what I already hated before. Because yeah, that's RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG, where before I was just thinking it as RNG on top of RNG. So yeah, that's way worse, because that's just another level of randomness added. And you could be in a situation where you keep getting perpetual the third star drop for a character, let's say, and you're not even able to use it because you can't level up.
Now on the different side, though, it will take it to the elite red star orb.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's going to be, you're going to need a ridiculous amount in order to get enough fragments. I mean, like,
and
look
I promise you,
but it's terrible.
I was going to say my first elite red star orb would be a 7-star Ultimus. I promise you it would be. That's just my luck.
Mm-hmm. You're probably right. So yeah, I mean, either way, this is a shitty system. I mean, the fact that we're having to debate how terrible this thing is ridiculous. I mean, it's a worse situation with an even worse situation.
Right.
Like,
it's like, no, my
hilarious.
situation's worse than yours. Well, no, mine's worse than yours.
Yeah, it's like, let's take a step back. They're all fucking terrible. So yeah, I mean, this is a terrible system. Which reminds me, go ahead and tell them about the petition going on real quick.
Yeah, so there is a petition out there at the change.org site. It is currently on our site. It is in the director announcements, and let me get to this real quick.
On our Discord.
I'm sorry. It's on our Discord. It is basically, actually, I'm sorry. We will talk about the petition in a few minutes. We're not ready to talk about the petition yet.
Okay.
The petition is not related to the Red Star Orb.
Oh, that's right. Okay. By the way, we should have a petition about the Red Star Orb.
We should have a petition about the Red Star Orb.
I'm honestly more upset about that than the other thing. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, that's only because I play Galaxy of Heroes in the other, for the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know what it should look like. Versus the atrocity that Foxnex is about to drop in our lap. Before I do, though, I do want to tell you that our new patron is Lamon Russ. Lamon, I hope I'm saying that right. I'm actually thinking of it like the Le Mans race. So Lamon Russ is our new patron, and thank you very much. We appreciate it. Glad to have you aboard. So, yeah. Anyway, moving forward, let's move to the last topic that is in our update for today, and that is Save Squad. Save Squads are going to be here. They're available in 2.1 for the low price of $9.99. That's right. You're going to get, so Save Squads are coming. And Save Squads are not going to be exclusive to Blitz. They'll be able to use them in raids as well, which is nice. You and I talked about this. I'd like to see it in all game modes, but let's start there. That's fine. However, let's read the last line, because this is amazing. Mm-hmm. Several squads worth of slots will become active immediately, with more available for later purchase to accommodate your ever-expanding roster. Don't you feel the love? Come on, man.
Fantastic. Let me go ahead and say I think that it's amazing that they had the balls to put that on this same developer update as the Red Star thing. I think that's hilarious. Like, I mean, I would not have touched those two together at all. There's no way.
Oh man,
I can't believe they did that.
I am honestly speechless, man. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that they've been promising forever now. Something that we basically went to them and said, "You guys, like, we need this. What are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, you're right, we do, and we're gonna charge you for it." Like, it's honestly gross, and the fact that it's really taken so long for something that's so simple, and then they're going to charge us for it, like something that we gave them that they already took a terribly long time to put in. So they've been incredibly inefficient with it, and now they're going to make us pay for it. So,
Right.
but granted, let me go ahead and say they're not going to make us pay for all of them. We are getting some for free. The amount we don't know yet, and
some.
Right, and the cost, we don't know. He was just joking whenever he said $9.99, obviously. But that being said, let me make a parallel to a game which obviously Dorian, as he's mentioned earlier, they with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, it's all free, correct?
Oh yeah, you look in Star Wars. You create tabs. You can add as many as you want. It's awesome. It's a beautiful system. They just added it a year and a half or so ago. I think it's been that long in a quality of life update, and I don't know how we lived without it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an amazing system. I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's
honestly, it's free.
Right. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's pretty obvious as something that should be implemented in a game like this. And I think that once again, for all the reasons that I mentioned earlier, it's disgusting that they're doing this to us. But with League of Legends, I make parallels to this game a lot, and I probably shouldn't because they're nothing alike. But in this particular case, so there's something called rune pages. And you used to have a certain amount that you got for free, and then they would charge for more rune pages because you had a vast amount of characters. So we can equate characters to teams here. You would have to pay, but you could use in-game currency to do it. So that would be the equivalent of us using cores. I still am totally against it, but I think it would be less of an issue if they let us at least use cores for them. But I have a feeling that it's going to cost straight up money.
Right. And well, I think everything in this game you can purchase for cores in some way, right? Because it would be silly to not let you buy cores to then spend on overpriced stuff. So like I can go buy gold orbs for cores.
But you can get cores for free is the issue.
Yes, you can.
I have a funny feeling that they are going to make this like you have to spend money exclusively to get these things. This is total speculation, but I have a sneaking suspicion that is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to basically lock extra tabs behind a paywall because they know we want it so bad. Yeah. Because we literally forced them to put it in the game. So I mean, I have a feeling that that's what's going to be. And that infuriates me even more. Hopefully I'm wrong and we can use cores at least. Or they just change their mind and decide not to do this terrible, terrible thing to us. But I mean, what's your take on that?
Yeah, in the show notes I have here, with available for later purchase how, because I want to see how they're going to make us purchase this. Like, if it's available for cores, I guess like you said, I still think it's a shitty move. I hate it. I think that it's an absolutely disgusting thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I both know that Fox Next is listening to this show.
Yeah.
So guys, this is a bad idea. This is a really, really bad idea. In fact, it's so bad that Tana, one of the mods for Reddit and one of the founding members of the MPO, has created a change.org. Now, I take that back. I don't specifically know if he created it. He did link to it in the MPO. I think it was the MPO Discord. He linked to the change.org, which I have also copied and linked in the Ravager Report Discord in the director's announcement. There is a change.org petition to request that Fox Next not do this. I do encourage everybody to sign that petition. Obviously, we want to be as polite as possible when we communicate with Fox Next because, you get more flies with honey than vinegar. So the nicer we are, the more they're going to listen. The other thing you can do, just not spend money. They're going to listen with their wallets, right? Or they're going to listen, if you talk with your wallet, they're going to listen. So sign the petition, let them know that you don't want this, and let's move forward. Now, I'm going to say this, like with the Red Star orbs, if you think this is a good thing, please contact one of us. We would love to talk to you, maybe do an interview and see a different side of it. Personally, this is ridiculous. It's absolutely horrible. You're basically buying the convenience of being able to blitz faster. Sorry, I'll just scroll through my usual method because I've only got 4 teams and they're all pretty close together anyway. So meh.
Right. Yeah. I mean, all right. So let me go ahead and shoot straight to this, just so we can move on because we do have a good amount of other stuff.
Yes.
What is your overall after this developer update? What's your overall feeling towards Fox Next right now, and what are you worried about?
So as we mentioned when we were talking about the Brotherhood, I'm not feeling good. No, I'm not going to say that's not to say, hey, I mean, look, we all lived through Gold Gate. We lived through some of the other atrocities of what they were doing, the removal of the cores. This is not on that level. This is nowhere near that level. But they haven't done long enough to pull something like this without it immediately going, oh, cash grab. This is a blatantly obvious cash grab. Oh, here's Magneto, the greatest. He will be the greatest coming to this game ever for the low price of $500.
Right.
I mean, there's nobody farming this without spending money. Now, I want whales to get things first. I do. I want whales to get things first because the more they spend, the better life is for everybody. And I want them to have the ability to get things first. But you shouldn't make it so obvious that the whales should look at this and go, nah, man. This is pretty blatant, right?
Yeah.
So I'm uncomfortable with the fact that they seem to be steering us back into the direction of paying for everything. And that makes me highly uncomfortable. I don't want to see it get back to that methodology.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing here is that we need to draw parallels to, and all of this should be done through constructive Reddit threads. We know that they listen to Reddit, and I think the worst thing you can do is throw all of this information and all of your anger out in a unprofessional and unconstructive manner of just basically yelling at the developers. I know you
save that for me,
as do I.
Save that for me, right? Let me do that for you. All right, you guys talk nicely. I'll rant and rage and rave, and they'll ignore me and listen to you. So let me be the lightning rod that takes their. We're not going to listen to that.
Right. So I mean, and that's one of the things I honestly do like about the MPO is that they, it's data based, right? They do surveys and they give them cool, common, collective answers to their questions, right? So I think that the biggest thing here is we need to approach this as a unified front of we are all against it, because I think everyone is probably, or at least the vast majority, I would assume, are against these things. Certainly the save squad charging, because that makes less sense. I could see some people that just, not that they don't know better, but they're excited about, a new progression system, for the Red Star things. I can see that happening, right? More people are just happy with that. But I think everyone doesn't want to pay more money for something as silly as a quality of life update that we made them do. So I think we can all get on board with that. So moving forward with these things like the petitions and things like that, these are things that we should probably do, because we need to present a unified front. But
yeah, absolutely. Have you ever heard of the velvet glove with the iron fist?
I have never heard of that expression. It's probably old. That's why you know it.
I hate you a little bit right now. Basically that's what Fox Next is doing to us. So they're hitting us with an iron fist, but it's got a velvet glove on, so at least it feels nice when they hit us.
Okay, there you go.
We asked for the save squads, but guess what, guys? We're gonna charge you for it.
Yeah, it's honestly, every single time I hear it, I know I've said it so many times, everyone's probably sick of me saying it, but it really is disgusting. Like, the more and more I think about it, like, it really is like they just took something that we gave to them as like, this would be a great idea. You need to put this in. It's It's not big. It didn't take them a lot of time or anything, and then they're charging us for it. Like, oh, it's gross. But yeah, anyways, so and I'm in the same place as you as far as what I think about what's going on right now. I'm really worried that we're getting back to this big, whoever's willing to drop as much money is going to win the game no matter what, and everything's going to be locked behind paywalls because you don't throw down enough money. No. I don't want it to go back to that. I'm worried that it will, but they've turned around before. They've surprised us before, and I'm hoping that they're going to do it again. I guess nice. I am just really, really concerned that I think the biggest thing that is a surprise to me is more of the fact that they're really doing this Brotherhood event at in such a small time frame, because that's an obvious, like, they're not even trying to be subtle or sneaky about how much people are going to have to throw down in order to unlock him, right? I mean, I think that a prime example of that was with Nick Fury, where it was really kind of like, yeah, you're going to have to invest in shitty characters. Sorry, but you were able to do it. You were able to make that finish line with the amount of time that we had. It was just shitty characters
because the leak happened early enough, right?
Right. I mean, one way or the other. And I think at that time it was developers gave Xeno the information, so it wasn't a leak. I don't think, for that one. So they gave him permission to say it. So they knew we were getting the information. So yeah, I think that they purposely gave us enough time for that. It was just you had to divert resources, which we didn't want to do. In this situation, though, it really is sorry, if you're not willing to throw down ridiculous sums of money, we're not going to give it to you, which is a dangerous thing to have in these kind of games. I think that it should be more focused on, you can get it. You're going to have to put in a lot of effort to it, but free to play can get it. But if you're a whale, you're going to get it, but it's going to be a lot better version of it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So not just a, unilateral, nope, sorry, if you're not paying, you won't get it at all. Yeah, this is going to be a problem, I feel like, and it's something that we're going to have to really confront soon. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. We should probably move on because we're beating a dead horse at this point.
Yeah, I agree. So that is the dev blog update. We could. I promise you, Hebrew and I could easily talk for another hour on this, but we're not gonna. You're welcome. Moving on. So today they announced the Blitz for treats. Have you looked into this at all yet? Have you had an opportunity to look at this? Or
I've looked into it a little bit.
Okay, so is the Blitz for treats what you expected?
Yes, because I saw the Datamine on it. We even reported, I think we reported on the Datamine of it a while ago. So yeah, I think that was what I expected it to be. Because I remember I had mentioned that I particularly liked the fact that it was working with your alliance to unlock these things. The new what are the orbs called again? The crystal orbs?
Crystal balls.
Crystal balls, yeah.
Yes.
So I actually kind of like that you had to work with your alliance in order to do it. So I'm actually a fan of this whole event. I think is pretty cool. Like I mentioned last week with one of our grab bag questions with holiday themed events, I think anything like this is good as long as we get free stuff. As long as at the end of the day I'm getting more things than I would have gotten on any other day, I'm on board. So yeah, I like what's going on with this.
So let me throw out some numbers to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Each milestone gets progressively harder. So now the points do look to transition from one milestone to the next, as they normally do in other milestones. There are a total of 14 milestones, and you get 6 points for winning a blitz with each one of the listed characters. The first milestone gives you a grand total of 50 crystal ball fragments.
Mm-hmm.
The second milestone gives you another 50. The third milestone gives you 100. The fourth, 100. The fifth, 150. The sixth, 100. Do you see where I'm going here? You're not getting anything.
Yeah, you're taking each milestone gets you very little. Yeah,
it gets you so little. I think you don't get a full orb until maybe you're at milestone 10. I haven't added everything up. at it, there's 100, there's 2, there's 3, there's 450, there's 6, there's 750, there's 950, there's 1150, 1250, 1450, 1750, milestone 12. You can get your first crystal ball at milestone 12. That is 16,000, right? 16,000 points that you need. You're going to get 6 points per battle with each one of these characters that you can only use without spending every 2 hours.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say you run all 5 on one squad, because I actually run, let's see, Crossbones, Mordo. I don't have Mystique, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Venom. I actually run that team in Blitz, because you at least do get 2 points if they lose.
Right.
But so if you get 30 points every 2 hours, so 30 points, let's say everybody runs a full squad, right? Let's just say everybody has all these characters. Number one, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 characters. You're getting 42 points times 24 every 2 hours. Right? That's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with you. But also on top of that, don't forget you're also getting gold orb fragments, which I think was it was a pretty significant amount, I thought, on each milestone.
Nope. Starts at 25.
For gold orbs.
I'm sorry, those are mega orbs. I apologize. Those are the mega orbs. It does start at 1,000. So at milestone 2, you get a gold orb. So congratulations, you'll get 90k gold.
Right, but it's 1,000 per. Let me go ahead and pull it up real quick.
It is 1,000 per.
Right. So okay, so basically you're going to be getting 7 gold orbs from that.
If you clear, can you imagine 19,000 points to clear them all?
Yeah. I know what you mean, but keep in mind you have your whole alliance working towards it as well.
That's only 24 people.
Yeah, I know. And
you're only getting a max. You're getting a max of, okay, so not counting anybody that refreshes, right? So you can get a total of 20. You can get a total of 1,000 every 2 hours. If everybody plays every hour, so 38 hours you can get it with nobody spending.
Right.
If everybody wins every blitz battle every 2 hours with those 7 characters.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the caveat.
I can already imagine that most people, especially in higher end alliances, know what to go against to ensure that they'll win. But that being said, I think that honestly, still at the end of the day, like, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm getting more, and especially gold. Like, I want as much gold as I possibly can. So yeah, I'm okay with that. It's another avenue to get gold. I can get a mega orb. I'm pretty sure that adds up to 1 mega orb. That's just from looking at it and assuming that it will add up to that.
Yeah, it looks about right. I mean, when you get to 625, that's an odd number. So for them to pull out, so
right,
yeah,
exactly.
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and then we're getting one of these crystal ball fragments, which has a pretty hardy amount of shards on them as well. If I'm correct, I think it was 145 or something like that.
Is that per, or is that just max opportunity?
I'm actually looking that up because I have the same exact question. Crystal balls can contain up to 140 featured character shards.
Okay, and the only characters it will give you are the ones that you blitz with. It's not anybody.
Right. It's the featured characters.
Yes, so it is Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Mordo, Crossbones. Oh boy, we all need more Crossbones.
Yeah, I'm going to be upset if I get
Iron Fist, which I'll be honest, I would love me 140 Iron Fist. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too.
Mystique and Venom. I mean, first of all, nobody wants or needs 140 Spider-Man.
Okay? No, anyone that's super farmable, you don't want, obviously.
Right. I mean, because people that are going to be finishing this milestone. Now, so here's the thing, right? I'm not going for the Storm Blitz. The projections are like 4 million for her just to get top 1,500. It's $1 million just to break top 10%. And that's probably low. I would say it's maybe closer to 1.25, 1.3. I'm lucky to get that when I'm blitzing intentionally. I now have every incentive.
Really?
Oh yeah, So blitzing intentionally for me is, oh hey, I need to blitz.
Right, not like setting
Oh
alarms
God, no.
kind of thing.
Oh God, no. I'm not waking up every 2 hours to blitz, right? Look, blitz. Look,
I have alarms set on
right.
my phone.
I
Right now.
apologize. I apologize to everybody, okay, that may not like this, but level of hate, Dark Dimension, Blitz, okay. So,
You hate Dark Dimension more than Blitz?
yes.
Wow.
At least Blitz has variety. Um,
Variety to the shit show.
Yes, variety to that shit show. Anyway, I'm not going off on that tangent. So my thing is that right now I'm actually incentivized to lose. I'm sitting in tier 8 because I do that first day on characters I want.
Right.
I'm now incentivized to lose, drop back to tier 1, just so I can continuously run this team every 2 hours, just to guarantee that I'm going to get to 42 points.
Yep. I know what you mean. It's kind of annoying because you have to. It came during the time of a character that you probably want, right?
Well,
you don't
it's not just that. I mean, yeah, that was annoying as well. But they started it the day after Blitz.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you do that when everybody was doing their initial climb?
Yeah, no, that's true. That's fair. But yeah, I think that the biggest thing here is that it's. I guess the fact that you have to use particular characters is kind of annoying. I guess, but. At the same time, I guess I personally don't care that we have to do that. I actually like those kinds of stipulations. So, but it might be because I'm biased because I have all of those characters at a decent level. So I don't know.
Look, I can do this, right? I mean, I have those characters. They're not the greatest level, but I just want to fight in like tier 7 with them, and so I'm not crying about that. I just. The thing I don't like was the statement you made of, hey, I'm getting more free stuff.
I am getting more free stuff.
Yes, but that's enabling them to do these type of things that are just, I don't know. I don't think I don't feel that it was thought out as well as it could have been. I think it could have been done better. I think the release could have been timed to coincide with the Blitz rather than, oh, hey, it's already a day in. And let's not do it on a Blitz character that you don't want to lose these battles on, that you don't want to be running. If you don't have these guys at tier 8 capable, you're hosed. You're not helping your alliance, right? Oh, you'll get the 2 points for losing a Blitz battle. Congratulations.
Well,
But
I mean, here's the thing: is that we have 6 days to do it, right?
Yes, we do have 6 days to do it.
Right. So we have 6 days to do it. I think that it's definitely achievable especially for
if your entire alliance blitzes.
Right. Which I mean, that's the thing is if you're in a high end alliance, you're gonna do it. If you're in a lower end alliance, you're probably not gonna get all of it, but that's kind of to be expected.
Maybe look, there are high end players that don't want to blitz.
No, I agree. But whenever it's time, like an event comes around that revolves around blitzing, they're all probably going to pitch into blitz. Like, for instance, I don't blitz. I almost cussed, but I almost hate. Okay. I hate blitz, period. But I will blitz for this because it's an event where I get free stuff and I want to participate. I want to help out my alliance. I want my alliance to help me out. And I want to get all these rewards. And I think at the end of the day, coming out of this with a free mega orb, which is great. I love mega orbs. 7 free gold orbs, and it looks like 2 of the crystal.
Yes,
the crystal orbs.
I promise you, I'll get crossbones twice.
I hope not. I honestly hope not. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I hope you do.
Right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, but no, I think that this is totally fine. It's free stuff on top of what I would normally get, so I'm never opposed to that. I will never.
Well, but it's nothing. So here's my issue with it. Right, number one, they're using characters that I don't know why they picked some of the ones that they did. Why in God's name is Crossbones included in that? Spider-Man, fine. You know what? He's with Venom. Venom and Spider-Man work together. I got that. Great. Why in God's name is Crossbones here?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. That was a weird pick. It seems like he doesn't fit, but I mean, I don't know why Spider-Man and Venom. I guess because they're spiders and it's Halloween. That's the only thing I can think of for that.
So Assassin points out in chat, so new players can play. Okay, fair enough.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. I'll recant that. Why is Crossbones in here? Because I do come from the, hey, I'm a more mature player, so I have at least two of these currently at 7-star.
Yeah.
But I just we'll see, man. And you know what? It's entirely possible that dev blog has just kind of ruined my mood, and I just want to be negative about everything.
You know what? That's
So,
understandable.
It's entirely possible. And you know what? I'm going to evaluate that. So, you like the Blitz retreats, and you know what? I'll reserve judgment for a week.
Yeah.
We'll readdress this one next week when it's over. So was there anything else about Blitz retreats that you wanted to talk about, though?
No, I mean, that pretty much covers it all.
Okay. So we kind of alluded to this earlier, and it was something I had brought up to your attention as something to talk about on the show this week. It was a really good post, in my opinion, that I saw on Reddit talking about raids and raid frequency and just the requirement for raids. So raids are, as everyone should be aware, basically you run them for 24 hours and you run them back to back, and we're currently running 2 at a time. Man, that's a lot to ask of players. Is it gonna? Do you think it's burnout? Do you think? I know I have Blitz burnout simply from how much it requires. I love raids, but do you think raid burnout is a thing? Are people going to get tired? Are they asking too much of us being in this game? Blitzing, raiding, arena. God help us when they pull out Alliance Wars, because that's going to require us to be on every 30 minutes at this point.
And so I agree with. There's a couple of things I want to say on this, but yes, I think that a raid burnout is absolutely a thing. I mean, I'm suffering from it right now. I've been suffering from it for a long time. I've said, even back whenever Irish was around, we had talked about it several times, that the amount of raiding that we're having to do is absurd, and it's just pulling us into playing this game more and more and more and more and more. Which, this is coming from someone who has a healthy appetite whenever it comes to being on this game. I'm on this game quite a bit. I was on this game quite a bit before, even whenever we were having one raid and Blitz was every, what was it? I don't even remember.
6.
It was 6 hours.
It's
so sad that I don't even remember what it was anymore. I was like, it's 4 or 6. But yeah, so I mean, I was on it quite a bit then even. And but yeah, so I think it's absurd how long I'm on it now, in order to stay competitive. And I definitely understand why people want to leave, because it's so time consuming and they keep adding more and more layers to it. Like what you said was a very good point. Alliance Wars. Are we going to be keeping up this cadence with Alliance Wars on top of it? Is that another thing that's going to be sucking out more and more time? Like, because we have the 2-hour blitzes, we have new raids, which I assume, well, I can't even say, I was going to say, I assume that down to after Thanos and Deadpool are gone, I assume that it was going to be going down to just the Alpha Strike raid.
Well, but then the Ultimates,
we saw language. Well, no, of course, with Ultimates is always going to be there,
right? But that's, I mean, that's the
as
2
far
raids
as the
at
secondary.
a time.
No, I know, but I'm saying before. I guess what I'm saying is that I think that right now we're switching constantly between 2. Right. I'm hoping that if we go down to just, what was the name of the other one again?
The Ultimates and the Alpha Strike.
The Alpha Strike. I'm hoping that if we just go down to Alpha Strike, once Deadpool and Thanos are gone, it's going to be Alpha Strike break with just Ultimates and then back to Alpha.
No,
Strike.
I think the Ultimates is going to be
basically will be
the Ultimates will be a constant raid.
Okay. No, you're misunderstanding me. I'm not talking. Ultimates will always be there. I'm saying that right now, we have been alternating between Thanos and Deadpool, correct?
Oh, you're talking about the alternating for the second raid. Okay.
Yes, alternating for the second raid.
But that's the point, that there's always that 2 raids going on with no break.
Right, that's my point. Is that so we've had those 2 alternating constantly, so we've been at 2 raids that have been constantly going on at once with Ultimates, correct? So I'm hoping that now that we're phasing out Thanos and Deadpool, we are going to have we know that the Alpha Strike is returning, correct?
Yeah, the Alpha Strike.
So now we just have Right. So now we have just Ultimus and Alpha Strike. So I'm hoping that we'll have Alpha Strike for a little bit along with Ultimus, giving us 2 raids going on simultaneously. And then once Alpha Strike ends with its rotation, we'll have a break where it's just Ultimus for a while, and then Alpha Strike will come back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it will alleviate some of the issues that we're currently having with raid fatigue, and just give us that break in between these raids. So, but that being said, while I was saying that, I was also remembering there was Alpha Strike B that we saw in a Datamine.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried as to what that means, because now it might just be straight up they're going to rotate between, as a secondary raid to Ultimus, they're going to be rotating between Alpha Strike A and Alpha Strike B, which we still don't even know what the difference is between them, but we saw language depicting 2 different Alpha Strikes. So yeah, bottom line though, yes, this raid fatigue is absolutely a thing, and it is detrimental to a game like this, especially when they're constantly adding on more and more content, especially more and more repetitive content. So yeah, I think that it's a problem, and we need to fix that. I think the easiest thing is maybe double the rewards for things, but make them, no, actually that wouldn't even work. Gosh, I don't even know how to solve it besides just like just not do it,
give a break,
like, for a while.
Well, so here's the thing too. I don't think it's completely possible to do like back-to-back 100s. With the energy requirements.
Yeah, it is. We've done it
without
before.
People spending.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has spent on it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure if you calculate it out, you can do it. In fact, and granted, I know this is Fox Next, but I don't think that they would even do that, because that's absolutely absurd. And I know that sounds silly in light of the things that we've just seen, but I don't think that they would put out a raid where you are literally required to spend to get 100%.
Man, I don't,
for something that we have to do constantly.
I don't know.
And so
I think you got to be smart about it.
But I've never seen a problem.
Like I'm looking at my.
You do have to be smart about it. You absolutely do. I mean, especially for those long paths, like you have to be watching the clock. I'm on one of those long paths, and yeah, you have to be on point.
And that's
especially if you want to participate in the Ultimate.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little worried.
I'm sorry, in the Thanos.
Yeah, that's why I'm a little worried about our current Thanos raid, because like I'm in lane 7. We call it lane 7. It's the second to last lane. Right. You know, where I share a node with the very last lane, who is a super long lane. And rather than waiting for me to clear some of the shared nodes, the guy on lane 8 has already started. And I'm like, dude, you're on the long lane. Let me do the shared nodes first. So, I'm gonna send him a message here in a little bit and say, dude, I know you can't be sitting on. I know you can't be sitting on 50 because you helped clear ultimates. I know you didn't refresh your energy that quickly. Because I'm only sitting at 35 right now. To start the Thanos raid, I'm sitting at 35 energy.
So I think that one of the things here though is that, so back to maybe a solution. I was kind of thinking doubling rewards somehow. I think if you did double up rewards for an Ultimates raid, for instance, you could basically take the next one off. So if they were able to just basically, you get double whatever we're getting right now, but you can only do, the next 24 hours, you don't have to raid because you basically got the equivalent in rewards for the first one. So it gives you a day off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, so here's what I don't like. I see where you're coming from, and what you're saying makes sense, but I don't like it because it's one of those rich get richer schemes things where people that do now blitz every day are going to now get, double the rewards every day. And
I'm not talking about blitz.
No. I'm talking about raids. I'm sorry. Did I say blitz? I apologize. Guilds that like let's say you talked about doubling the rewards, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the raids. Let's say right for the raids. So if we do 100% Thanos on day 1, instead of taking off day 2, if we do another 100%, now we're getting double twice, right? So we're going to we're just going to exponentially grow for that. and I don't like that because it's also
They
going
don't
to
have the
push.
exponential scaling though of the other ones, of
I
things like
don't.
Blitz,
I mean,
as far
no,
as
but the
rewards.
reward system are. I mean, if you double
Yeah.
it, then I'm getting double for running twice, right?
All you're doing is you're getting the same amount of rewards that you would have gotten, but you're just shortening it from 1 day to 2. So
But
in the span of
if
2
I
days,
do the second day, if an alliance does the second day,
no,
they're
no, no,
getting
no, no.
another
You're
double.
not doing this. You're not able to do the second day. That's what
You're
I'm saying.
talking Foxnext does not allow you to do it.
Yeah, I'm saying so. Yeah,
Okay.
it's basically
Sorry.
you have 48 hours to do it. Basically, let's say.
Okay, sorry. I heard you say you could take the second day off.
No, no, no.
So
Maybe I did, but that's not what I meant. I meant that
okay.
you basically have 48 hours to do a raid, right?
Yeah,
So that
that
way
works.
it gives you a long amount of time. You can complete it quickly if you want, and you get double the rewards. So you effectively get the same amount of rewards as if you did raid 2 times, or I'm sorry, 2 days in a row, but you're only having to raid once.
That I agree with. I think that's good. Yes.
So yeah, I mean that's the quickest fix I could think of off the top of my head. There's probably a flaw in it somewhere, but yeah, I mean something like that I feel like should be implemented because yeah, it's becoming a problem and people are quitting alliances every day and it's making it harder and harder to sustain alliances. So
Yep.
especially for the people who are on the top alliances, especially because people that are a little bit lower are in more casual alliances. It's rough to be in the top alliances. Speaking from someone who is there as well as yourself, in a top 100 alliance, or I guess the top 50 alliances for us, it's really difficult to stay in there because you're having to be so competitive and on point all the time.
Yeah.
It makes the amount of time before you feel raid fatigue or anything fatigue in this game exponentially faster than others that are in more casual alliances. So and the fact that it is all very repetitive does not help that whatsoever.
Yep. Nope. I agree with you 100%. So there's something they need. I feel they do something to do raids. Your suggestion sounds good. I like it. I'm not sure it's the solution, but I do like what you said about it. So
yeah, it's the best solution. Yeah.
Absolutely. You said it. Why wouldn't it be? So really quick, let's see. So today the Block Party and Star-Lord both returned. Are you going to be able to get Star-Lord at either get Star-Lord or get him to another higher level?
I already have Star-Lord at 5 stars. I did not work on him at all. He's still like nothing in my roster too. So, my tech team, because I don't have Vision up there because he's garbage. What? All right.
Ugh.
That
is such
I need to stop saying that because
statement.
I need to stop saying that because I always have to preface afterwards, like my normal thing of, all right, guys, PSA, I hate Vision. You should not hate Vision. Please level him up because he's a god character. I just won't level
He's
him.
not garbage.
Yeah. I personally think that his character is garbage in the movies, not in this game.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, I should really stop doing that because I always have to preface it with that. But yeah, anyway, so he's sitting there at like nothing. But I haven't put anything into him because I have more pressing matters whenever it comes to farming.
Right.
So as far as the ability, that's one I haven't done any of them yet, but I can do tier 6. I can get up to tier 6. So
nice.
So next time I will be able to do the 7th, I hope, because I'm gonna try to get Punisher and Iron Fist up to 7. So we shall see. Actually, right now it's I don't have Iron Fist up to 6 yet.
I apologize. Did I lose something for a minute? Did you just transition from Star-Lord to Block Party?
To the Did
okay.
You mention that?
I missed you transitioning. I thought we were still talking Star-Lord.
You know what?
Because you went right to Vision, and then suddenly you're talking about Punisher and Iron Fist.
I'm hopping all around the place. Yeah, I'm hopping all around the place. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. I'll keep you guessing. But no. All right. So when it comes to the Block Party event, I am on tier 6 for that now. I haven't done it yet, but I can at least do it. I don't have Iron Fist up to 6. I have all of the defenders besides Jessica Jones and Iron Fist up there, and I'm replacing them with Spider-Man and Night Nurse because they're both at 6.
Oh, very nice.
So yeah, I'm going to be able to do that, and hopefully I can do the 7th next time.
Yeah, see, I can only do the fifth one this time,
Mhm.
because I only have four at level. I think I only have three at six or higher. Um, Simply because until recently, stars didn't really matter.
Yeah.
They didn't affect your power level so much. So I got a lot of people sitting at 4 star that were fine there. So I could. That's I have a very diverse roster. They're tier 9, tier 10, but they're only 4 star because reasons.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can do 7 when it comes back. I'm stuck at 5. But you know what? I'm okay with that because I got all my defenders now maxed ability,
Mhm.
except for the final, the current final tier.
Right.
So I'm quite all right with that. In fact, I can take a few people up again. So I'm trying to decide who to ability up now, and I'm really thinking the Vision clearing because he is in my arena. So him
Ugh.
clearing 2 positive every effect would be really nice. So,
Yeah.
and I will not be able to get Star Lord to 6 star because I'm focused so heavily on the defenders. They're the hill I'm going to die on when it comes to characters. Not that that's wrong because they're great.
Yeah.
Uh, but I've not been working on any of the other defenders, or I'm sorry, any of the other guardians or ravagers to get them to 6 star to get um, Star Lord up, which is probably stupid because he is in my arena team and I use him in Blitz. But he wins and he holds it 8.3. So, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to just to touch on one of the things you said. I think it is important right now, especially to kind of pick a team, even though I'm not taking this advice for myself. So, but it it is a certainly intelligent decision to kind of pick a powerful team right now and stick with it, which I
Yep.
think for a lot of people, defenders will be the answer to that
Well,
because they can handle
probably
themselves.
the easiest farm.
They're one of the easier farms, that's for sure,
Right.
for a lot of the characters. But some of them not as much as others. But either way, it's definitely easier than I feel like personally than the Kree team. And then because not only do you have to level up Kree, but you also have to level up Shield with it to make them viable.
Right.
Mutants just aren't really going to happen right now. So
Well,
yeah,
that and they're really only PvP viable apparently.
yeah,
So,
exactly. That's the thing, is that these other team options are more well rounded whenever it comes to being, because the biggest thing is sustain. If you don't have
right.
sustain, you're not going to make it through a lot of these modes that require you to sustain. Um, but yeah, so that's a smart move, is kind of picking a team and sticking with them. I
Yeah.
personally am not doing that because I'm dumb, but but yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yep,
Um,
I agree. So,
how do you feel about the amount of ability mats that you get with it? What on the
Uh,
rewards? What's your
I'll tell you
general
what.
opinion on
I
those?
was I was pretty happy with the initial for
Hmm.
for clearing the first time because I was sitting at like 350 ability mats.
Hmm.
Um, when I finished that fifth tier, and I can get 75 per run now
Hmm.
just for that fifth tier. So I'll get another 75. That's not bad for me. Now that's obviously the caveat. I've been working on city, so people that haven't been working on city or don't have them up high enough. I can understand you being a little frustrated, like I am with like the payday event or the hand relic event. Um, but the amount that we're getting 75 per run at tier 5, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, for me personally, I mean, I'm still not. It's not. It's one of the better rewards out of the little side events that we've gotten for team specific events. That's for sure. I definitely think that, but I still don't think that it's enough, because although the initial is nice, don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, I'm getting what, like, so for tier 6, which is probably not what most people are at. I think probably tier 5 is probably a little better. So 75, that's not much. That's less than 1 day's reward for going through ultimates at 60% or something like that, which granted not everyone is doing either, but I don't know, 75 to me seems kind of meh. It's underwhelming. So yeah, it feels like a lot this first time whenever you're going through it and you're getting those initial rewards. But I feel like once you strip that away, it becomes underwhelming pretty quick. And
well, let's be honest though. The whole point of this is to get to that 7th tier where you're getting 50 orange ability mats per run.
Yeah. I mean, and personally, I think it's sad that we're like, yay, 50 orange ability mats at this point whenever, you know, T4 abilities have been out for so long. But yeah, I mean, I that does make it better. That's obviously the best one of the bunch by far because you get all of a sudden an influx of a new tier level of ability mats. But even then, I'm somewhat underwhelmed. But
right. No, I've been underwhelmed with what we get out of all these events. But like you said with the crystal ball, hey, it's free stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It's free stuff, but I don't know. I feel like I should be motivated to do things here.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not.
Fair enough.
Like that's one of the things that I've always maintained about this game. Like if I'm getting these characters up to 7 stars, like if I put in all the time and effort to do that, please reward me on the every once in a while whenever these events come around.
Yeah.
I want to be rewarded with something that's like, oh man, I'm so glad I leveled up these characters. Like, all right, it's time for this event again. I don't feel that. I'm like, oh, okay, Block Party's coming around again. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's too passive. I need it more exciting.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's me.
I don't know. Since I'm working on the city, I guess I'm just like, okay, cool. I get orange mats, and I'm like just a few away from getting another T4 ability.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's nice to have that. It is an additional bonus, especially considering you don't get enough for one every time you do a raid season. So anyway, I heard that, and we've still got a lot to cover, and we're about almost 2 hours in, so we're gonna move on. So we're gonna cover these next 2 topics really fast. They're more bug. One's a bug, and one is a stealth nerf. So I discovered, and other people's discovered it as well, so it's not like I was the first, but I've noticed earlier this week that the defender's counter doesn't always work. If you're playing as a defender, you're playing as a defender's team, and you have the counter up, and like let's say Crossbones does his AOE, and one of your characters dies, they don't counter Crossbones, and they should. So that has been. There's actually a Reddit post on this one. I have talked to or submitted something to our Fox Next contact, who is, thank you for listening to the show, by the way. It's awesome to hear. That, so trying to get video. If anybody has video of this happening, please let me know so we can get it directly to Fox Next and not have to go through support. So obviously, I don't think you've said you've seen this, have you?
I haven't seen it. Well, I'm pretty sure I've seen it before. I found this confirmation from the Reddit post.
Right.
Because I kind of remember thinking like, did that just happen? And now I know it probably did.
Now remember, there are some abilities that aren't counterable, such as Spider-Man's special. But yeah, things like the Crossbones AOE.
The Crossbones one is the one I'm mostly referring to.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now I'm just in the process of eventually recreating it or trying to recreate it.
Yeah, I record all my defender fights now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, either way, if anyone that's listening has that or has experienced it and has some footage of it, yeah, please just let us know. That way we can go ahead and send it directly in.
And then the last thing we're going to talk about in our news is I don't know if there are other characters affected, but our good buddy Muggin posted in our Discord general chat, Yondu was nerfed. Well, I won't say nerfed. I will say that the text of his ability was changed to match the way it actually works in game. And this is not the first time Fox has done this. They did it with Black Widow. Basically, what happened? Let me get to this post real quick. My apologies. Great audio. So let's see. So the Yondu's passive, when fully upgraded, used to read, on turn, copy a positive effect off of 2 enemies and apply the positive effect to self. Clear the positive effect from the enemy. However, that has been updated with new wording that says, on turn, choose 2 random enemies. If they have a positive effect, copy the positive effect to self. Clear the positive effect from the enemy. So I bumped mine to tier 4 thinking, oh, hey, cool. He's going to pull 2 positive effects from people, not from random, but he's going to go, you have a positive effect and you have a positive effect. Give them to me. It did not work that way. It was reported not working that way. And instead of fixing it to match the way it was worded, they changed the wording without telling anybody to now say, oh, hey, Yondu actually just picks 2 random people. If they happen to have a buff that he can copy, great, he'll copy it. Otherwise, you're screwed. Um, I don't like that they do this. I think that this I think it's lazy, honestly, to say, oh, you know what, we meant to program it this way, but we didn't. So rather than devote time, we're just going to take 5 minutes to upgrade the ability text.
Yeah.
And so, look, they did this to us with Black Widow. I, for one, am going to be requesting a refund of my Yon. It's nowhere near as powerful, and the way it's reading now, it's nowhere near as powerful as when I put the T4 passive into it, and I'd really rather put that into somebody else. I would never put it into, oh, hey, he picks random enemies that may or may not have buffs, and then he'll copy them. And then they can resist it. So it's another double RNG fest.
Yeah, ironically, I still think that it's one of the better options for T4, but that's not saying much for T4 options.
But you're down to 2 chances out of 5 to pick somebody.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
I mean, how bad is it that you say I think it's one of the better options when they just completely crapped on it?
Yeah, that's
what does that say
exactly
for all the other abilities?
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Is that even with that, making it not even half as good, it is still one of the better options.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's silly, and he isn't as strong as he was. But that being said, he's still a really good character. I'm going to keep mine on, but I'm not happy that they did this. And the biggest thing for me is that, and this goes for any game. I've had games do this before, but silent nerfs are the dumbest things.
Yep.
Nerfs or buffs, silent nerfs or buffs. I hate them, and you should never do them. Like,
right, it's assuming your players are stupid, and they just won't notice.
Yeah, and even in the fact of like, oh, they won't notice, ha ha ha. It's kind of just like why not put it in? Like, what are you trying to do here? Like, just put it in. Let us know. There's no issue with doing that. So yeah, I don't know why they do it. I think it's dumb, and it's just, I don't know, negligent.
It's negligent, and honestly, it's a slight insult. I mean, they're just assuming we won't notice or care.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I think that they just assume we won't care or something, and that's obviously not the case considering we've dumped resources into this character.
Exactly, dumped resources, money, and time.
Yeah, sweat equity, that's for sure.
Yep, sweat equity.
But yeah, so I think that's just they need to stop doing that. That's the moral of this story. And yeah, if you no longer want that passive on there, and because these, especially for people who these abilities are, these T4 mats are much more precious to them than they are to some of us on the higher end that get a decent amount each time. I feel really bad for people that invested into him expecting that to be the savior of their team, and they get like 30, or I don't remember what the reward tiers are now, but like 50 per season. You know what I mean? Because then that's terrible for them.
Yep.
So yeah,
absolutely.
More of the story: just don't silent, buff, or nerf anymore.
Yes, please just stop it. Let us know, and let us know before you do it. And don't change the text to match a bug. That's ridiculous. Because that's honestly what they're doing. Oh, this isn't.
Well, I don't think they're doing. They might have intentionally put it in there, but I don't know.
Did you tell people, hey, Yondu's text was wrong. We wanted him to work this way, but they did it without telling anybody, which tells me that because this is not the first time they've changed the text to match what's actually happening in game.
Yeah, I mean, Black Widow comes to mind as well, I believe.
Yep.
So I will say though that what makes me think that it was that exact situation though in this particular circumstance is that they had mentioned that they were going to nerf him before, him and Crossbones, right? A good while ago. And then they went ahead and said, you know what, we're not going to do that anymore.
Right.
And then, but then they ended up doing this. So that makes me think that this wasn't quite intentional and it was a bug, but then they just decided to go ahead and go with it anyway. So, which is essentially an absolute nerf. So yeah, it just, we can move on from it now, but yeah, that's just, shouldn't do that.
Yep. Please stop. Or at least communicate, right?
Yeah.
You've got a dev blog. You could have communicated this.
Yeah. That is the forum to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, all right, hold on one second here. Sorry, I was creating I just created my request to get my T4 ability match refund. So, let's move on to our next segment now, Patron of the Week. And so this week, we get our question/segment from our new patron, Justin. So he asks, what's the easiest way to get gear up? I'm looking at a whole lot of tier 10s and not looking forward to it. Kind of my sticking point right now. Yeah, Hebrew, I'm going to let you talk to this one.
So for me on this, unfortunately, like there's not a great way to farm gear other than just doing your raids. Like that's probably the most efficient way to do it, and checking your store, of course, the raid store and your regular store if you got the gold to spare. For me personally, the only time that I buy something out of the store with gold, as far as gear is concerned, is pretty much exclusively for the ABCs, the Advanced Purple Catalyst. So yeah, that other than that, if I'm in really dire need of something and I just don't want to wait, then I'll pick something up for gold. But yeah, for the most part, I get all my gold from the raid rewards and just farming, doing your campaign farms.
Yeah.
But I think that this brings up something that Dorian and I have spoken about several times now. It's just I think that the reason why there's not really a great way to farm for this gear, especially orange gear is like untouchable still. The dumbest thing to me that we don't have a more accessible way to farm that yet. I think that they need to increase the drop rates on purple gear. It's to the point now where we're on to the next tier of gear, and it's absurd that I'm still having to drop potentially. I mean, just the other day, I dropped 500 energy to try to get one purple item. I don't remember which one it was specifically, but yeah, I dropped 500 energy on it to try to get any of them, and I got one.
Yeah, so the drop rates are horrible.
It's terrible, and for whenever I have to invest, not only is it not the top tier gear anymore, but I also need a ridiculous amount of it to do anything. And I'm having to put in a whole day's worth of core refreshes to get one of the 25 that I need. So that's why I say there's not really a great way to farm gear. So it's an unfortunate answer to your question, but it's the one that I truly believe is the correct one, just because they need to change that, because there needs to be a great way to farm gear. But yeah, I think the best thing you have is go to your raid store, check it every day whenever the store refreshes come around, and buy gear from there, and hope to God it has in stock what you want. And then you got to do your casual farms with your campaign energy, and just hope that you don't get really crappy RNG, and watch the gold store for specific things. One of the biggest things, especially whenever we had the sorry, I'm going so long on this, but whenever we had the Alpha Strike, I was really able to finally sustain, because of the extra gold that we were getting, the influx of gold we were getting, which still wasn't enough, don't get me wrong. But my version of enough gold is probably far beyond what they deem as permissible in this game.
Yeah.
But I was finally able to at least keep a decent amount of gold on deck and just kind of sustain while still purchasing all the ABCs in store for every refresh. So that was actually kind of nice. Because I was actually able to start upgrading people on the tier level that I need, so I can get them into orange gear, the T13 category. So Yeah. Anyways, long story short, just do all the stuff I mentioned.
Yeah, and the one thing I would say, one thing that I do is I try to do target gearing. So I mentioned earlier about how my defenders are all sitting around the tier 10. Um, in fact, they all are tier 10 except for Punisher, who is tier 11, and Jessica Jones, who is tier 9. She's only one piece from gear 10. Once I get her to gear 10, I will start getting everybody to gear level 11. Like I've got 2 green pluses on Luke Cage right now that I will not click because I need some of that gear for Jessica to get her to gear 9. So you need to focus on what you're gearing up and make sure that you kind of target and only gear up the teams that you absolutely 100% are going to play in raids, in arena. I honestly just kind of ignore the rest of my blitz teams. You get good synergies and you're usually pretty fine there because it's all power based anyway.
I will mention one other thing if you finish.
Yeah.
One thing that I should mention is I remember in a discussion that we had with Chewburger not too long ago, whenever he was talking about leveling up Shield, the biggest problem that he had was, I believe it was the molecules, the advanced molecules.
No, I think it was the briefs, not the briefcase, but the documents, the secret briefing.
Either way, yeah, there was some resource that was universal amongst that team that really was a limiter for him. And so this is something that I think is a principle that you should be aware of. If there's a team that you plan on going for in the future, okay, it was the briefcases. So if there is a particular team that you do plan on going for in the future, I would look at that team, look at the common drop that you need the most, and I would start pre-buying whenever you see that in the store. I would probably start pre-buying those a bit. But yeah,
I can tell you, anybody that's working on defenders, it's going to be the advanced biofocus catalyst.
Yep, 100%. And but yeah, there's the one thing is that they do share a lot of, as Evan B pointed out in our chat here, for a lot of the teams, especially Shield, they require a lot of the same gear. But I would just really go through it and focus on, like, look through and see what you're really going to need the most of, what you can't farm as easy as far as campaign nodes, like the ones where there's only 1 or 2 or 3 nodes available. And you need to start looking for those in the store so you can pre-plan if you have the resources to do so, of course.
Yep. So that's kind of our gear farming guide. Very basic, for how to get things going up. So, Hebrew, was there anything else you wanted to mention on this?
Nope, that pretty much does it for me.
Okay. So now we're going to move into our grab bag. And this week, got question from the previous week that we're going to try to get to. And
go ahead and restate that real quick, because you cut out a lot right there.
We have 2 questions. We have 2 people. We have questions from 2 people, one of which is a question from last week that we're going to try to get to. Actually, let's just handle that one first. So BMZR asks, with all the faction character updates, almost everything is working better and gets better synergies. For me, it feels that it gets harder to pick which enemy to go up against in Blitz. Do you think the game will become something more like rock, paper, scissors, or will Blitz become someday quite impossible to win anymore? Who will be left to fight and win easily after everything is... So I'll let you answer that one first.
So yeah, I mean, I think that one of the biggest things we're seeing because of this situation where they keep buffing these faction type characters, I think that we're experiencing power creep. We're going to continue to experience power creep, and there will be a bit of a rock paper scissors situation going on. I think we're starting to see the beginning of that, especially with two big nuclear powers that we know are coming up. Are A, we already have one, which is Nick Fury, and then B, we have the Brotherhood coming, which is supposedly going to beat Nick Fury. Then we also have Kree coming, and we know a bit of information about that. We do know that they are going to be very strong, and we know that they're going to be working off executions, and I have a feeling that that's going to be pretty much completing the trifecta of the rock paper scissors situation. That being said, these teams are insurmountable to beat unless you have the answer that is required. So I think that you're going to be put into a situation where it is incredibly hard to beat these teams on the top end. You're just going to have to avoid them. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of the reality of the situation. Unless you have a team that is specifically made for countering, one of those meta teams, which you can do. But yeah, I think that's one of the biggest issues in this game right now is that we're experiencing power creep, and all of these characters that were once okay or even great are now underwhelming when confronted with these new meta teams. So yeah, and I have preached that Irish as well whenever he was in our show. We have always preached against power creep because we've seen it in so many other games that we've played. It's a dangerous thing, and it quickly invalidates other characters and resource dumps that you've had in the past, and just because they want to push a new character for money, basically. So it's a dangerous thing to do it, and I don't like it. But yeah, and it will lead to chaos and blitzes where you feel like you can't do anything because these high end tiers are going to be filled with those kinds of characters.
Yeah, I think I agree with you 100% there.
Yeah.
I don't know of anything that anything to really add from my perspective on that.
Yeah.
So BMZR then also asks about cleansing. With all the debuffs flying around, why is cleansing not a bigger thing? Who is able to cleanse the whole team other than Jessica Jones? Why is it impossible to cleanse a stun? Are there more uncleansable debuffs?
I'll let you go ahead and take this one.
As far as I know, there's nobody other than Jessica that does a full team cleanse. I know there are people that will do minor cleanses, but a whole team cleanse, I think she's one of the only ones, or she may be the only one.
I believe so.
Nobody comes to mind, so if I'm wrong, please correct me. I don't mind that at all. So, sorry, Evan posted in chat General Kenobi. Yeah, you're absolutely right. General Kenobi an entire team. However, in Marvel Strike Force, I think Jessica Jones is the only one. Why is it impossible to cleanse a stun? I think it's for the same reason that stun can't be spread to other people. It's just one of those buffs that it doesn't make sense to cleanse. Now, I will say I gotta watch it a little bit more closely, but I feel like after Jessica goes, my stuns do clear themselves, and I'll have to look at the turn meter. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that, but I would imagine it's for the same reason that stun can't be spread to other people either. And are there more uncleansable debuffs? I don't know. There's no other uncleansable debuff that I'm aware.
Either? Yeah, I don't believe so either. But the Reaping in chat, he did mention that Black Widow cleanses the Avengers. So that is a cleanse capability, an AoE cleanse capability right there.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, that pretty much does it for that.
Yeah. Let's see. And then, so now we've got one from Dark. When do you think the game will implement catch-up mechanics for new players joining the game? Also, how do you think the community will react if new players get a lot of benefit? So let's take these one at a time. So when do you think, or will it have catch-up capability?
I am not opposed to them putting in catch-up capabilities as far as giving them special events and things like that. And we had kind of seen one of them before, where I don't remember, it was towards the beginning of the game, and they had put in, like, I don't remember, it's like 15 or 45 Hawkeye shards and like some Quake shards and stuff like that. Do you remember that little package?
Yeah. They sometimes you got some various random packages.
Well, no, it was a set amount, and it was given to people that had just started within the past week or something like that. And at that point, the game had already been globally launched for I think 2 months or so. So there was a little bit of a catch up package there.
Right, where you got like 100 Shield or 100 Captain America, things like that. But I think those were new. Typically, they had been offered to new players. People were upset that they were only being offered to new players, and then they wound up offering to everybody else.
I don't think that they ever did add that to or give the rest of that to everyone else, actually. But I do remember the community being very volatile about it, which I actually did not agree with, because if you measured out the amount of time that it took to farm the amount that they gave, it was only worth like a week's worth or so. So it was nothing crazy. And I think that it's fair. I mean, giving people a little bit of a catch up, too much of a catch up is an issue. But I think giving people a bit of a catch up ability is totally fine, because especially in a game like this where we speak about this, the rich get richer scenario all the time with their reward structures. I think you almost kind of need it. Otherwise, you're going to be at a perpetual state of being behind forever, which you probably are anyways to a particular degree, unless you're throwing down money. Because even if you look at things like Blitz, once you get past a certain date, you're thrown into a pool with everyone else, which doesn't make any sense to me in the slightest.
Well, right. So that's my problem, right? So I'm a Galaxy of Heroes. First of all, I hate giving new players quote unquote catch up techniques, right? They should be lumped in with other new players, and they should be competing with those new players. There should not be this, hey, once you reach a point, we're just going to throw you in with everybody. It's a horrible mechanic. People should be organically grown the same way everybody else has. Right now, some things may get easier over time. That's just the nature of things. But they shouldn't just be given things or be allowed to buy their way in. You know, in a cheaper method than what other people were able to do.
So I think that, for instance, if we look at the special event that we had for Crossbones and Elektra, I believe it was at the beginning. So I think that giving them something that was like kind of comparable to that, which isn't available to us, I think that things like that are okay. I would quantify that as a catch-up event.
No, wait. Say that. What type of event again?
A catch-up event.
No. What was a catch-up event?
The Crossbones and Elektra.
No, those are starter events. I think every new player gets those.
Every new player gets those?
Yeah, I got those when I started, and I was in beta.
Okay, so yeah, even then, though, that would be, I mean, even though everyone's already had them, I would say that that's kind of like a catch-up event. But I would say
not if every new player gets them.
Right, but I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that it puts them in a position that's higher than they would normally get from farming, I guess. But what I'm saying more is situations, events like that, I would be fine with them implementing. So if they would start up the game, and then they would not only get those, but they would also get 2 similar events to other characters, I would be fine with that. Maybe they keep those on rotation for other characters that join in. I wouldn't care. I mean, it doesn't affect me at all. It gives them a bit of a boost. And with the situation that is in place currently, which I totally agree with, and I have always been outspokenly against the situation that the parameters that they put in place for adding newer players to a pool of, what was beta players or veterans in the game so far. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. But so yeah, that's the first thing that should be gone. But I don't have a problem with them. You are eventually going to be playing in a mode or be ranked against people who have been playing this game for longer. So I don't care if they throw in some, a week's worth of farm for a few characters or something like that. That doesn't affect me. I think people are too sensitive to stuff like that personally. Like when everyone freaked out about the Hawkeye thing and the Quake shards in a little package, like I didn't care. And maybe that's just, my opinion on it. But
but you also, so I think there's a difference between I think there's a difference in the thought process between free-to-play players or those primarily free-to-play and those who are willing to drop coin on the game, right? You don't care because you're willing to drop money to enhance your position. I care because I did things free-to-play for the most part. I did buy the Storm offer. But for the most part, I've done everything free-to-play. And I worked very hard to get where I'm at without extra benefit.
I will say,
why should they not have to grind like I did?
So I would say to that you have already had an advantage by being on for a certain amount of time, which is totally fine because
No. Wait, I get an advantage because I've been here long? Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that you've had access to events that they won't have access to, and things like that. I don't care that. Well, hold on. I'm not saying like that was one of the things I pointed out at the beginning. I'm not saying give them too much, because that's something that they shouldn't do, and you have to be careful about whenever you balance these things. But just because I've spent money on the game before, it doesn't mean I can't put myself in the mentality of a free-to-play person. I think that, especially since I haven't put in the big scheme of things, I haven't put in that much. I put in about $200 worth over the course of this game, which has been 6-7 months. So I can still put myself in the mindset of that for the most part, and I can say I still wouldn't care in the slightest bit. Like it just things like 35 or 15 shards of a character, like I don't care about that. And
so,
but to them, that's
here's where I have a
big
problem
deal
with it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's part of where I have a problem with it, right? It depends on who they get.
Yeah.
And it depends on how much they're getting. So, for example, right now, Iron Fist, right? Iron Fist for me is only 4-star. I'm having to grind a single hard node to get him up higher. Now, I did just open 8 premium orbs in an attempt to try to get more shards of him, though, I'm not unhappy with with what I got, because I got like 25 rocket and I got some Nobu, which I just unlocked. But if somebody got a brand new event where they were able to just start farming Iron Fist, rather than having that one hard node that everybody in their planet's now having to grind, that to me is an unfair advantage, because you're giving somebody an ability to advance over somebody who's actually been here long doing the daily grind. So it's something that I don't agree with. I think they should have to progress through the game naturally and not be given benefits to quote unquote catch up.
But I think especially the way they have it set up, I think that it's, almost a necessity to give them something, or otherwise they're going to be so far behind. It's hilarious.
Now that's a completely different topic. And right, the way it's currently set up, if they don't, then they're so far behind, it's ridiculous. The problem is the current way it's set up is horrible. They should not be thrown in. They should not be. Our arena should be based off of the month we logged in.
Yeah, I agree. Like I know Disney Heroes was really good about that.
Actually, I don't like the Disney Hero method. I prefer Star Wars Galaxy of Hero.
Didn't Disney Heroes method automatically lump you in with everyone that signed in that month?
No, so you'll get these. So I'm still playing that, right? Because Baymax is the beast.
You are really? Wow. I quit after a week. So
it's very, very casual. Muggin and I are in a guild together. It's very, very casual. For me at least. But I kind of enjoy it. I play mostly because my son still plays. So it's something for us to talk about, because I actually went to him last week. I was like, buddy, how would you feel if I left this? And he goes, well, Dad, you can kind of do what you want. But he gave me that hangdog face. I'm like, okay, playing. Right. But it's super, super casual. But I don't like their, because you'll get these arena splits or these arena merges. And I've actually been lumped in with people like 3 times my power.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's not right.
So yeah,
Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes lumps you in based off the date you join. So you're in with people in the similar time frame.
Yeah, so that's what I would want as well. I think that it should always be put around. You should be put around people where you actually have a chance at. If you drop behind, if you start at the same time as someone and you drop behind because you didn't play as much as someone who did, then that's fine. I think that that's fair. You're going to be behind because of the choices that you made. But being behind forever because of reasons that are out of your control, or you just didn't know about the game, I don't think is fair at all. Like, you're going to have an incredibly hard time ever reaching a decent blitz milestone, right? Or a tier, rather, reward tier, if you start right now. What's so easy to us is incredibly difficult for them to ever surpass. And considering it's a proportionally growing community, it's always going to be a problem, and it's going to stay kind of around the situation that is right now, because those, at a certain point, it becomes non-percentage based. we have those flat numbers. So
Right.
these things are always going to be an issue. And yeah, the way they have it set up right now is terrible. So yeah, I think that these things make it almost a necessity for catch-up events in the way that it is right now. Even if they did have it set up where it was, if you start up in a new month, you get a little bit of a bonus. Like this is the character that you get, like a special event for this character if you join this month. I don't have a problem with that. Some people might, like it sounds you yourself do, but
I think it also depends on what character, because if they're suddenly able to 50 cap shards through an event, that's problematic.
I still wouldn't care, honestly, but that's me. It's it's just my opinion on it.
Which is fine.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even care if they got. I wouldn't even care if they got 50 Black Widow shards. Honestly, I would actually encourage it.
I don't know. I don't know. Unfarmable characters that some people that So here, actually, I would have an issue with that, especially for unfarmable characters. If so here's my thing. You have to give everybody the same starting thing. Because if you because you started last week, you got 50 Black Widow shards, and I started this week and I got 50 Hand Sentry shards. I'm probably just gonna quit if I know anything about the game, because that's ridiculous.
I kind of correlate that to we had whenever we first started. You didn't have this. Well, actually, did you go through the Rocket event?
Yeah, Rocket was available, and Rocket was available.
Yeah, so you had those advantages, and I still played.
Did you? You didn't get the Rocket event?
No, I didn't get the Rocket event.
Right. But
we're talking about the early Rocket event. Yeah,
I didn't get the first one. I think I got him maybe to maybe 4. But you're talking the starter event that they did for Rocket.
Yeah, so there was only for launch. There was only a very, very small amount of people that somehow were able to get into the Rocket event. There was a Rocket event available to them, which was
it was in beta.
No, but also during launch, whenever launch first started, people actually restarted their account over and over and over again until they had access to it. I can't.
Oh, that I don't know. That I don't know about.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a big thing.
But, that's kind of insane that should have been possible. I mean,
yeah, it was a huge advantage, and that was at the same time whenever everyone was starting. I still played, and I didn't care. I mean, I shouldn't say I didn't care, because that was particularly unfair because we started at the same time. But that being said, I didn't have a problem with it, and I don't have a problem that you got Rocket stuff, or you got a lot of characters, or had access at least to a lot of characters that I did not, and I don't.
Yeah, but so here's my thing. Like what Evan says in chat right now, re-rolls happen all the time.
Yeah.
Right. In games like this, re-rolls happen. What I'm talking about is not so much a re-roll as because I probably used a very short time frame, which was stupid. If we're in a month or two, and you started, and I don't know, I don't like it. I don't have a problem with the, hey, you start now. Here's your 4-star character. Here's your free 4-star character, and you get a random roll. That's fine. That's fine. We can do that. I like the idea of a random roll actually at the beginning, like you get a mega orb to start with. Actually, I think that'd be I would like that for new players to come in. I think that'd be cool if they got a mega. Now, to me, that's not a catch up. If everybody gets it, that's not catch up. Now, I'm not asking for a free mega orb.
No, not you. I'm talking about them.
But yeah, absolutely, I would have zero problem with that. What I would have a problem with is, oh, hey, here's an opportunity to spend $5 and get 100 cap shards. That's what to me, when I read things like what he's asking, that's what I feel more.
They already
catch-up mechanics. I don't think it's that much, right? It's like $10. It's like $10 for 50.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's 5 or 10, but yeah, it's something like that for a very large amount of Captain America shards.
See, those types of things, they should be, but they're one-time purchases, right? And I think everybody's had that offer at this point.
Yeah, no, it's a new player offer.
Yeah, but I think that there was such outcry over it that they wound up offering it to everybody. I know when they there's a Deadpool offer where you spend like $5 and you get what, 100 Deadpool shards. I got that offer, but that's a new player offer. But I saw that on my account.
So there was different. Actually, now that I remember correct, there was different new player offers that people got. So not everyone got
Right,
Captain
because they were
America.
doing A/B testing.
Right. So there was a couple of different ones that were floating around, but yeah, I mean, like I personally thought that things like that were okay, and people re-rolled for particular things, and I think that that's fine too. Re-rolling is a big part of mobile games,
Yep.
so yeah. I mean, I personally don't have a problem with it. I understand why people might have a problem with it, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think it all is going to depend too on the amount of benefit, right?
Yeah, because
I think
as
that's
I
going to
said at the
be
beginning, too much, and then you do have a problem. But
right.
you know, a little bit off the top is fine. But yeah, we should probably move on from this question.
Yeah, I think so.
This
So
was a very simple question.
yeah, a very simple question that we obviously turn into a debate of some type. So,
Yeah,
all right. Which ultimately, I think we both kind of agree that new players need something. Just what that looks like, I think, is where we diverge.
yeah.
So now we're going to move into our character spotlight. Now we moved the character spotlight out of last week because we were running long, and have moved it into this week. So this week we're going to be talking about Mystique. So Mystique is now available in game. She's available on a single hard node. She is a villain global mutant controller brotherhood. Mystique's real name is Raven Darkholm. Little is known about her due to the fact that she can remove and eliminate all outward signs of aging with her shape. Okay, my apologies. My grammar is horrible. Little is known about Mystique due to the fact that she can remove and eliminate all outward signs of aging with her shapeshifting. In 1921, Raven found herself in the Mexican Sonoran Desert about to be executed by a firing squad because of her blue skin, which led to locals to believe she was a witch. As she was blindfolded and tied to a post, she noticed a man tied next to her. When she asked if he was a murderer, he replied, "Worse, a horse thief." Raven managed to untie herself just before the firing squad shot and watched as the man was riddled with bullets. Amazingly, he survived and killed the guards and introduced himself as Logan. After that, she goes to the Brotherhood. I mean, there's a whole bunch of a lot of stuff. This was kind of her origin, though. Her first appearance was in Miss Marvel number 16, April 1978, where she did a cameo. Her first full appearance was in Miss Marvel number 18, June 1970. So let's dive into her kit a little bit. So her first ability is Mimic Strike, which attacks primary target for 210%, with a bonus attack 1 to 2 times for 160%. She copies 2 positive effects and applies them to herself. And if Magneto is an ally, she will copy all positive effects. Hebrew, did you want to talk about this kit one ability at a time, or talk about her as a whole?
We can talk about it as a whole.
Okay.
Just go ahead and go through it.
All right. So her special is Infiltrate, where she attacks the primary target for 240% damage. Attack 3 additional targets that do not have stealth for 170% damage. Attack all additional targets that do have stealth for 170% damage and clear stealth from each target. If no one had stealth, she gains stealth. If Magneto is an ally, this attack is unavoidable. Her ultimate is called Shapeshifter. She attacks the primary target for 50% damage. She tricks one random enemy to attack primary target. The tricked enemy gains 200% damage for this attack, and she gains Evade. Her passive is Subterfuge. On spawn, she gains Evade. She gains 1,000% resistance against Bleed. And on Magneto's turn, prolong all positive effects on self and Magneto by duration of up to a maximum of 3. Strategies for her, obviously, run her with Magneto. I mean, there's not. I mean, she's got an amazing kid. I'm not gonna. Things I hate the fact that she has, and I think they work better on other players. For example, this gain 1,000% resistance against bleed. Why Luke Cage doesn't have this, I have no idea. If somebody needs this, it's him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why she has it, because she doesn't have that strong of armor. She actually does bleed and can be cut. So, I mean, Now, all these abilities that I read were maxed out, and that's from MSF.GG. What do you think of Mystique, Hebrew?
So I like Mystique. I think that by herself she's a bit underwhelming, but within the context of the Brotherhood and with especially Magneto, yeah, I think that she's a pretty good character. As far as her kit is concerned, with the specifics of her abilities, I mean, she can be a really important character, especially with her infiltrate ability, her special, because she can hit targets that are stealth and then clear the stealth, which is very important. There's a lot of characters that would be super useful for, like Hand Sentry is the biggest one that comes to mind. So yeah, I think that that's really important. And then also she has the capability to go stealth herself if there is no one. So that ability will always have a use one way or the
Yeah,
other.
absolutely.
And yeah, and the fact that it is unavoidable, if you're with Magneto, that's a big bonus, because even with Hand Sentry, we know that it is he gives dodge
Right.
as well. So yeah, that's important that they have that, and that's why I think her kit is really. It's not that it's underwhelming on its own. It's just that it doesn't perform nearly as well as it could,
Right.
with Magneto. So it's just to the point where I think I would be able to find people that probably synergize with whatever group I was running better than with adding her in, unless I'm going to speak against someone like Hand Sentry, where she would obviously fit in for these particular reasons. But yeah, and as far as I think unless there's some kind of lore thing that I don't know, I'm not sure why she does have the resistance against bleed thing, but regardless, within the confines of this game, that's good. It's just another thing that she's going to be basically immune to, which is nice. And then once again, you see with Subterfuge that with Magneto prolonging the effects on herself and Magneto by the duration of 1 up to a maximum of 3, that's great. So it's going to work really well within the Brotherhood team, and yeah, it's going to be very nice. I think that her Mimic Strike is good. It's kind of a underwhelming version of what's it called, Black Widow's basic. Because at least with Black Widows, it copies and clears, I believe, and this one just copies. It doesn't clear. So yeah, I think that this is it's all around. It's good. She's kind of a not quite as good Black Widow is how I'd put it, and unless she's with Magneto, and then she has much better qualities to her for that specific team. But yeah, I would always, if I had her alone on a team, I would always pick Black Widow over her.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with you that if you're not really going to a lot outside of with Magneto. Now, I am going to mention, and I'm going to quick to Gen Chat here, that Squirrel Girl in our chat earlier today posted a Blitz team that she has started running. I apologize to Squirrel Girl if you're not a girl. I'm just going based off the name. But Squirrel Girl calls it the Stop Hitting Yourself team. And so this team actually is kind of fun. Just for testing, I ran it in Blitz. Now, I don't have Mystique, so I substituted Vision in this team. But it's Scarlet Witch, Loki, Mordo, Venom, and Mystique. And so the whole thing here is they're giving so many negative effects. Mystique is pulling the positive. Plus, she's causing them to attack themselves. Mordo's blinding people. Venom is spreading everything around like the plague. It's actually a fun team to play. I've tried it in tier 7. My guys are not that powerful, so I was able to win barely with them. But she does work in that team with her ability to clear positive effects and cause the enemy to attack themselves. there are probably better characters for this though. Like I said, I run Vision, who I think you should probably never run Scarlet Witch without Vision, just for their synergy. You would not know about this, but
Vision, Black Widow, and yeah, I mean,
Scarlet Witch.
I know about it. I know about it.
Yes, but you've never experienced the goodness.
To partake in it.
Right.
I choose not to partake in it. Yeah.
Yes. And much like the man in Indiana Jones, you have chosen poorly. So I agree with you. I think she's an okay character. I mean, she's not until Magneto comes out. She's meh to me. Now once she's got Magneto, I mean, she really jumps at least one tier, if not two.
I wouldn't say two. I would say that she gets better, but I wouldn't say two.
But a lot of that is copy all positive effects. Can you imagine her attacking Luke Cage after he's done his, he's got his defense up, his regens, and everything else?
Yeah, I do it with Black Widow all the time. I clear him as well.
Oh yeah, that is when he gets hit by Black Widow, I'm not happy.
But yeah, that's why I said I still think, just as Chewburger pointed out, she gives them to Magneto as well if he's team, which is why she jumps up a tier in my book. But I would not say that she jumps up 2 tiers in my book. That's why. But by herself, I think that she's meh. But whenever she's
usable,
yeah. But whenever she's with Magneto, she jumps up a tier.
And right. But also remember, don't forget that she will also prolong all those effects.
Yeah, I remember.
On his turns. So yeah, I would jump her a tier without that. I think that one thing right there maybe takes her up with Magneto just that a little bit higher. But it would be close.
Gonna be an agree to disagree on this. Yeah, I think that she the thing is, yeah, she's usable, and that by herself for sure, and then because she has some good qualities to her, but whenever you pair her with Magneto, I think that she jumps up a tier to what's the next one? Demigod? Is that's the next tier, right?
If you go by that, yeah, sure. If you go by the out there, I'm not sure that, like I said, it would be like extremely low end on that tier or very high on the. Yeah, I mean, it would be like on the line for me.
Yeah, I can understand that. But I mean, obviously, regardless, chances are you're going to be running her with Magneto and the rest of the Brotherhood, or as many of the Brotherhood as you can muster. So, yeah, I think that within the relationship of what you're going to have there, it's going to all work out very well and be, a really fancy schmancy team you got for yourself. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, is there anything else that you want to mention about Mystique?
No, yeah, I guess so. I've already said this before, but her character model looks great. I can never give enough props to the devs for how well they do with these character models. I think that it's insane, and I love them. I honestly haven't played around with her very much, besides because she's still super low. So I haven't really got to mess around with her abilities, so I don't really know the animations quite yet of her abilities, but I'm sure that they're fantastic. Have you messed around with them at all?
No, I haven't unlocked her yet.
Oh, okay. I bought one of the packs to unlock her, so I should probably do that. But yeah, either way, I'm sure that's going to be great because they're very good about that in general. Next week, I know we're talking about Sabretooth.
Sabretooth is planned for next week, yes.
And I'm super excited about that because he looks great. I mean, his abilities are good. He looks like a pumped up Wolverine, but his character model looks great.
Which he should be. I mean, in their physique, Wolverine was always short and stout, right? Sabretooth was much bigger. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Huh,
Wolverine,
I didn't know that.
I mean, he wasn't a dwarf, but I mean, he was always a smaller character, depending on the artist. Let me see here if they actually have. Give me 1 second. I apologize. He's 5'3".
No, what? Really?
Yep, 5'3".
Wow. I mean, he's very short.
Yeah, Wolverine was always very short. He's 195 pounds.
What?
Without his adamantium skeleton. He's 300 pounds with his adamantium skeleton. So,
wow.
Here, I've posted it into the chat. This is from the Marvel Wikia. So he is 5'3", 300 pounds.
Wow,
now,
that's
he's not a heavy 300 pounds, or he's not bloated 300 pounds because it's all about his adamantium skeleton. But even 195 pounds at 5'3", dude, I'm like 5'5", 5'6", and I'm around 200. So I know what this looks like. Now, he obviously carries it different than me because I have the broad shoulders, but yeah, that's
I just yeah, Evan B is correct in chat. He said confirmed Dorian is Wolverine.
that's my wife would not argue with that because of how hairy I am.
Because of what? How hairy you are?
Oh yeah, she calls me her bear.
I feel like there's a little bit of role play in your future here.
No, maybe. I apparently I got to get Schubert to send it over.
Yep, no, that's very true. But yeah, I think that, I mean, that's crazy. I just wouldn't be intimidated if I saw him now. I feel like if I saw him running at me, I mean, he has knives in his hand, so I would be a bit intimidated, but I'd certainly be less intimidated now that I know he's 5'3". Because whenever I imagine Wolverine, I think of Hugh Jackman, which is literally a huge jacked man coming at me. So yeah, with 5'3", I'm not as intimidated. But yeah, okay, well, that's interesting. I had no idea. So how big is Sabretooth in comparison?
Sabretooth in comparison. Give me 1 second. I apologize.
Evan B simply stated bigger.
Yeah, I mean he was much bigger. Victor Creed. Let's see characteristics. He is 6'6".
Jesus, that's a big man.
So yeah, he's a good, you know, 1.25 bigger. Than Wolverine. So he is 6'6", 275 pounds without his adamantium, because he also gets an adamantium skeleton at some point. And then he goes up to 380 pounds with the adamantium. So yeah, there's a very big size difference between Wolverine and Sabretooth. That's why I'm not upset with the models.
Wow, now if I ever had to choose between the two, I would have definitely said, if I had to fight one of these characters beforehand, I would have definitely said I will fight Sabretooth. Now I would absolutely fight Wolverine over Sabretooth.
Wolverine's got that rage, man. He blacks out. You don't want to fight somebody that blacks out, trust me.
I mean, I feel like I could pick up Wolverine though. Like,
not at 300 pounds.
This guy's going to be manhandling me. Like, he's going to be picking me up and throwing me across the room. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case.
Wolverine's going to slice you before you can touch him, though. That's the thing.
Sabretooth can slice me up too, right?
Well, right. I'm going to tell you honestly, I'm not fighting either one. I'm running.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sorry I offended you. Good. What can I do to make amends?
Yeah, I mean, I would bring a gun. Like, that's my best bet.
Except that won't kill Logan.
Shit, you're right. Well, what kills ripping him in half, right? And so I just have to find rip him in half, I guess. That's what did it.
Well, good luck with an adamantium skeleton.
Yeah, as I think that's how the Hulk beat him in World War Hulk. I think he ripped him in half so that way, and he didn't regenerate or something.
Yeah, I would imagine decapitation would work as well. So
yeah, adamantium bullet, that'll do it. I totally thought of that all on my own. No one helped me from the chat. Oh yeah, Magneto.
Magneto obviously is
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
I've got to look that one up, Chewy. I got to look that one up. So Chewy just said in chat, Wolverine has also regen from a single cell after an atomic blast. I'm gonna have to research that one.
That is some regen powers right there.
That is. I think that's going to an extreme, but you never know.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me with a particular arc out there somewhere. You know, like something crazy like that. I would believe that. I know Carnage is in a similar situation as well. If there's even just the tiniest bit of him left, like one cell's worth, he will regenerate.
Yeah.
So, Yeah.
All
Anyways,
right.
we should probably move on from that.
Yep, I think we're done there.
That's a
So
rabbit hole we don't want to go down right now.
we are not doing it, man. I'm trying to look. We've done really good, not derailing our episode.
Kind
We've
of.
still
Yeah.
gone really long, but
How
we've
long
done
is it?
really. We are sitting right around 2 hours and 40 minutes right now.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
I honestly thought it was an hour 40 minutes.
Nope. We started at 10:07.
Wow. All right.
And it's currently 12:47.
right.
All right. So, but that does bring us to the thing that everybody here kind of been waiting for is who you farming, man?
So as I kind of touched on at the very beginning, the people that I am farming right now are Cree, and I'm farming them every single day. And as I mentioned last week, I will be farming them for a very long time, every single day. I'm hoping to get them to 6 stars by the time the next one rolls around, just so I can use them in the dark dimension and clear through it, because I honestly think that I will not be done with dark dimension until probably the time comes that I'll be unlocking him with their next event. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that. It's going to be a great team to have. And then by the time that happens, hopefully the Kree rework will also be out, so I can kind of get a twofer. And yeah, so I'm hoping for that. I'm farming them. I'm soon going to start farming because I already have 2 or 3 characters there that I'm getting close to 6 stars with. And once I have that, that'll kind of ease off of that farm a little bit, and then I'll be able to focus on shield. I'm going to start farming up shield like crazy. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. As I mentioned before, it is probably best right now for you to kind of pick a team and stick with it. Yeah. I'm pretty much the poster boy of things that you should not do in this game. So I listen to what I preach, but do not do what I do. So I'm kind of going super wide right now. So I'm farming, multiple teams. I'm working on mutants, Kree, and Shield right now. So as end game content is coming closer and closer. So not the best things to do, but I'm okay with it. My opinion on it is I'm going to be behind for a while because of that, but at some point I'll equal out, and I'll have a couple of really great teams on my side, because I already have Defenders up and I have the OG team up really high as well. So yeah. But yeah, that's it for me. What about you? Who are you farming?
Defenders, man. I mean, I could sum it up in just Defenders. They are until I get them all 7-star gear 12. I can't see myself caring enough about anybody else. They're so good in so many different modes that I can't not.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And also, you were finished, right? I don't want to interrupt.
No. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Defenders.
Yeah. So I just had a question directed to me in our chat that I just wanted to address. This is from Flip, and he asked, "What will it take for you to give up your stance on Vision?" And he asked if it would be a recast of Vision. I would say no. I actually love who they casted as Vision. He's an amazing actor. I love him in everything that he's done. And that's actually one of the reasons why I am so upset, is because I think that, for those of you that don't know, the reason why I hate Vision is because in the MCU, the movie realm, I think that they did an incredibly poor job of depicting him as a badass character, especially considering he has an Infinity Stone in his forehead. I think that he's been practically useless throughout most of the movies, especially in the most recent one. He was manhandled the entire time, and so I hate him. So because of that, I decided that I will never level him up in this game because I hate him so much. And as I was saying, that's one of the reasons why, another reason why I hate Vision so much, because they took this incredible actor and I felt like they gave him just a really, really poor script to play out, and they made him look like something that I'm not allowed to say in this podcast. And he was just, manhandled the whole time, basically. In Age of Ultron, I need to rewatch that. Literally the only thing I remember from Age of Ultron, because it was such a crappy movie, was whenever Vision and him got into a little laser fight, and it was like the big like, oh my god, Vision's so powerful moment. And then I think he got like punched in the face very quickly afterwards or something, or something happened that made him look almost immediately like he was a bitch, for the lack of a better word, right afterwards. I'm gonna have to rewatch it just to make sure, but I just remember him basically in every movie something happened besides maybe Civil War. Every movie that he was in, he was just made out to look like basically useless.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I know he's replying to you in chat, so it's a little hard to for our listeners. So I didn't want to. Just didn't want to. You know, if you guys want to have that conversation, great. But
you're cutting me off. Give me the.
I'm giving you the man. We're getting close to 3 hours.
Yep, got it. I got it. I'm down with it.
Somebody's got to keep this place on
actually
track,
really
man.
surprised. I'm actually really surprised you didn't jump in with a counter to everything I was saying. So
it was your moment, man. So I'm gonna let you die on this hill. You don't need me. You don't need me on this one.
Yeah.
So, well, other than defending your irrational hate of Vision, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about for this show?
Just my classic thing of I just want to really, really thank not only all of our supporters, but especially our Patreons, because we really appreciate you guys basically funding this whole operation. As Dorian said, we did just put down a year subscription to Podbean for this. We've been paying monthly before, but we just we love doing it for you guys, and we have had a great time getting to know each other as well as all the other content creators, and it's something that we really enjoy doing. And so we're really glad that we can continue doing it and grow, and potentially move to other platforms as well. Like we've discussed a couple times in the past, moving to Twitch, and that's something that we can potentially work on doing in the future. But yeah, so this is something that we're really happy to do, and it excites us, and just the fact that we're able to do that with your guys' support is amazing. So yeah, thank you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely. I echo that sentiment completely. Now, you don't want to miss next week's episode where we are going to be talking Sabretooth as well as the news of the week. But not only that, but it's the beginning of the month. And since it is the beginning of the month, it will be our $10 giveaway. So if you are a Patron subscriber, you will be eligible to win a $10 gift card that we give away at the beginning of every month. It's possible we will expand upon that if we get enough patrons. But I think right now our plan is just 10, right, Hebrew?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So that will be next Friday. We will be doing that live, obviously. And it will be to the platform of your choice. With that, I want to thank everybody for listening to episode 6 of the Ravager Report. We appreciate it. And if you would like to send us your not information, but if you'd like to send here we are, we're data collectors. If you comments, feedback, suggestions, questions, whatever, you can always reach us on Gmail. We are at theravagerreport@gmail.com. We'd love for you to come join our podcast. We'd love for you to come join our Discord, discord.me/Ravager Report. That is a web URL, not a Discord invite. So if you're familiar with Discord, do not try to do it. It is an invite. It is a web URL. Obviously, we'd love to have you join us on Patreon. Our Patreon is at patreon.com/Ravager Report, where we have tiers going all the way from $2 up to $20. And we, like I said, we are earlier in the show. We are still kind of figuring out what we're going to do with the tiers, but we do plan to have those kind of finalized over this next week. Am I forgetting anything?
Twitter.
It's Twitter. Don't get me started on Twitter. If you'd like to find us on Twitter, you can find us at Ravager Repo. That's at Ravager REPO. Where you can follow news and information about the show, as well as about game events. Hebrew's gonna take the lead on that one. Mm-hmm. So if it doesn't get updated, you other than that, I think we're kind of wrapped up for this week. Again, thank you to everybody for listening. We really appreciate it. And until next week, keep fighting, true believers.